Preacher.
2, 1. Hello, everybody, and welcome to We Get to Play. And for our first episode, we're going to check out Pugmire. Before we dive into the game, I want to welcome and introduce all of my wonderful other side guests who get to come and play this game with me today. So let's start with the top. We have Morgan.
Again, making me go first. How dare you? Hi, my name is Morgan. I use she, they pronouns, and I am playing Eris. They're a cat and a group of dogs. There's no real reason for it. Obviously, I'm just a cat girl. So, and if you want to follow me on Twitter or any other social media, my handle is Lizard Librarian. Yeah.
Perfect. All spelled as you would expect.
No, there's a couple of Y's and like
that's why I
nonsense.
asked.
No. Yeah, completely a handful of extraneous apostrophe. No, it's just Lizard Librarian, like you would expect.
Perfect. All right, next will be Bryan.
Hi, I'm Bryan. Hello, internets. I'm playing Kayla, the wonderful Labrador. And Labradors are the best dogs.
They are.
And I have social media, but I'm not worth following. So if you want me to follow you, comment in the chat, and I will follow you.
There you go. Although here on Twitch, you've been streaming some Halo and stuff, which is always entertaining to watch. Because
if
I ever forget, words I shouldn't use in public, all I got to do is watch Bryan for a little while play Halo.
I'm more creative than a Spanish Navy man. So
that's right.
I invent passwords.
I need to get in on this. What is your Twitch?
Gillen. Live or Gillen?
I think
is it just Gillen?
It's just Gillen.
Yes.
Gilwen. Yeah.
It's 18 and up only, please, because I am a potty mouth.
Where did you learn that? From Bryan on Twitch?
Yeah, pretty much.
John, why don't you introduce yourself?
I am John, and I'll be playing Nina, the corgi. Artisan? Corgi artisan.
Nice.
Like a mage.
Nice.
You can follow me on Instagram if you like looking at pictures of dogs. Distilosaurus Rex. Yep.
Not a good
Instagram full of one dog and his adventures here in the lovely land of Ireland. All right, bark.
Yeah. And John just wrapped up running the Dark Lore series for us on Wednesdays here on this channel, which was a horrific, amazing adventure. If you haven't seen
written by Jeremy Hochhalter,
right, and Joel Marsh, right?
Yeah, Joel Marsh, yeah.
So if you haven't seen it, go check it out on YouTube. It's all live now. And he'll be a player in the upcoming Through the Mists on Wednesday. We're starting this coming.
Very good.
What's that?
Spoiler for Dark Lore.
I heard that Jeremy guy's not very good.
What about spoilers?
Spoiler for Dark Lore. Everybody dies.
Everybody dies several times.
Hashtag truth.
And finally, for the players, we have Eric.
What's up?
Hello.
So, yay. So I'm going to be playing Saturini, a Papillon, who is a ratter, noble ratter. So basically like a rogue, get to run around and show off my fancy clothes and swordsmanship. I have a little bit of background with D&D and have played some Cypher system and stuff. Looking forward to checking out some new systems on these Saturdays. Playing some Pugmire for the first time. Should be interesting.
I have I don't know if you can read it. I just want to sip my coffee and pet my dog mug. Perfect for today. And because we aren't going to use a VTT for this, we all have, shiny math rocks. I have my polyhedral dice, which are actually not from Pugmire. They're from Animal Adventures, but I had to use them today.
So it's been fun. I'm going to have to peace out.
Oh, you didn't tell me that puns were next. No.
I got a
next time.
I'll make sure to drop my metal dice like from way up here so everyone can hear them.
And I guess I should introduce myself. I am Jeremy Hochhalter. I'm going to Game Master Pugmire today. It is my first time running Pugmire. I've got to play once, and I played a Pugmire character in Legend Lore once, so that was kind of a mixed bag because we had to do some squishing of the rules. So really, it's my first time running. Please forgive me for everything that's about to happen. So,
Please rate him in the
with
chat.
that, let's dive in. So the city of Pugmire is in a world that is, it's on Earth, but it's a much later Earth, long after man has disappeared. Uplifted animals, cats, dogs, rats, mice, reptiles, birds. I said cats, right? I just want to make sure I didn't miss out. Now essentially rule what's left of the world and go by day to day, just kind of living in what man left behind. The city of Pugmire was built up. It is kind of a medieval feel. A lot of it has that very like old English feel to it, as opposed to they're not living in like our modern cities. So as you were all walking through the souk, which is a very large marketplace, Satarini, Nina, and Kayla, you're showing Eris, who's new to town, but a friend of yours. You're kind of showing them around, and you're shopping for some things to help her feel more comfortable in the place that she's staying. And it's a pretty nice day out. The sun is shining. It's now kind of setting in the distance. It's later in the afternoon. What do you do? What are you looking for there, Eris, to make you feel comfortable in your new abode?
I need a couple of high perches. Something to sit on on a daily basis. Some twine for art projects is what I keep telling people. But I feel like they have an idea of what I actually need it for.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, nothing too crazy. Just the essentials.
Excellent. Let's see, Satarini. So you've really kind of explored Pugmire to its fullest. You know the nooks and crannies. What do you suggest for Morgan as far as being a new? I don't want to call you a new resident because I don't know how long you're staying there, Eris. But what would you suggest that Eris gets?
Well, I mean, being of noble lineage, I would know where some of the finer shops in the city happen to be.
True.
And if anybody happens to give Eris any sort of gruff for being, a cat surrounded by dogs, all I have to do is just kind of look down at them and be like, "Are you sure you want to do that?"
Eris, you do get some glances every so often, but there are other cat people in here. In fact, there is a cat quarter to the city, so they're not rare, but they're definitely the lower number. I don't want to call them a minority because that's not what they are. They're just like there's not as many cats in this city.
Yeah, and I mean, like, it's to be expected that living as a cat in a dog city would be a little rough at the best of times. So, I mean, I'm sorry, that was not a pun. That was just...
Oh, everything is a pun on this channel. No.
But yeah, I figured there's some good shops, and even if I'm not necessarily into twine or yarn, I'm sure that I can find maybe a place that does haberdashery or something that would be able
I mean,
to direct us to.
I would even take some rope if that's something that you have an idea of where to grab. Just an adventuring shop, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Saturnine, you actually know there's over a few aisles in the souk from where you are, there's a wonderful stall that has not just rope, but they have many types of rope, and they dye their ropes. They're very fabulous. There's a wide rainbow of colors as far as silken ropes. The hemp ropes tend to be a little like more muted, but there are a variety of colored hempen ropes as well. if you want to head that direction.
Yes, absolutely. We should go that way. I think you'd really like those. And I sort of like dash off and I grab one and be like, I'll be right back. And I'd like bring it over and like, see, like I'm not a retriever, but every once in a while I like to play fetch. So
Speaking of retrievers, so Kayla, you are real nearby, like close by to the barbecue. Like there's I'm trying to think of what the word would be. There's like a food cart that essentially has like meat on a stick, and it's various types of meat, and you can smell it, and there's a little bit of string starting to hang down, and you might be a little self-conscious of it, I don't know. You definitely feel it. It's starting to form, get a little drippy. You're not sure how Eris feels about meat, but it is probably one of your favorite places in the souk to stop by to get a snack. What are you doing?
Well, we're gonna grab some of that meat. Who's hungry?
Who's hungry? Who's a hungry girl? Kayla's a hungry girl.
That's right.
Excellent. Okay.
Yeah, I'm just kind of always looking for the next meal because
Okay.
I'm awesome and I'm on the road a lot, so I'm very hungry.
So Nina, while you're kind of following around and everything, and you notice some knickknacks that remind you of home, or like little items of power that you're just like, what is this? Everyone's kind of grabbing their own different things. What are you doing?
Well, I'm keeping an eye on the cat, mostly to make sure that the cat is okay, but also keeping an eye out for knickknacks that might be within reach that might just need a new home, something that people might not miss.
Gotcha. So you're not so much the exchanging of goods for these things as so much of this just needs to find its way into your pocket?
Yeah,
Okay.
I picked up a thing or two from the cats. I spent a lot of time in the cat quarter, and sometimes you just gotta lay claim to something,
It's a meat cart over here. We can share.
I mean, the best part about that meat cart is that when you're done, there's a stick that you can chase.
Do they have bones though? I would imagine you would be more into the gnawing aspect of things. I'm sorry if I'm being offensive. I don't know much about.
You can gnaw anything.
That's
Like,
true. I mean, I'm equal opportunity gnawer.
there's lots of flavor left in those sticks.
Oh yeah.
I'll have to give it I'll have to give it a shot sometime. I'm more of a I like to play with my food more than I like to eat it or gnaw on it.
So as everyone's kind of like gathering around for Kayla to get her meat stick, and Eris is kind of like looking at the meat stick and wishing it would like kind of run off a little so she could swat it or something.
It's on a stick. We can.
Nina, you notice this like cart over here that just has a bunch of like dangly things, a lot of like very shiny objects, and so it just like catches your attention. And on the flat part of the cart is just piles and piles of little knickknacks, and you see one that it's just such a different, vibrant, brilliant green that reminds you of some of the spells you cast. You just have to have it.
I mean, I do have to have that. I do have to have that. Is it got eyes on it?
It's kind of hard to tell because it is in a pile of knickknacks, as opposed to whoever runs this cart, they're on the other side, you don't see them. They're not very good at like merchandising, that like the facing of things. So everything's just kind of piled up. It looks like more of a palm-sized knickknack as opposed to some of the other things that are kind of piled up on top of it, which are smaller little bits.
I'm going to cast Magic Paw.
Excellent.
And rummage through a section a little ways away from the knickknack while directing my Magic Paw over to lift it, kind of tuck it out of sight while I keep the shopkeep distracted
Okay.
on the other side of the table.
So as you walk around the corner, there's a rat terrier on the other side. Its fluffy ears are twitching. It's very excitable. It's like, you over there, are you looking for one of these things? I don't even know what it is, but it's very colorful. Look at it. It's just like, oh, hello, and turns to you, Nina, and is like, what are you looking for? Look at this thing. It's a giant turtle. I mean, it's not really giant because it fits in my hand, but obviously it's a carved turtle from the age of man. What do you think? Do you like this? It's really up to you on whether you like carved turtles. It's probably made of some kind of marble.
I mean, I'm going to feign interest in the carved turtle
Okay.
and ask for its history and its pedigree and
Provenance.
all the things that I need to know about this this carved turtle, just so I can keep this rat terrier's focus on
Okay.
me.
Well,
Uh,
he flips it over and he's like, it was made in the far off land of Taiwan. And he shows it to you and he's like, very mystical, like it's obviously a very important faraway land. Make me a dexterity check for your magic paw.
Okay, let me see what my first roll of the game, guys. This is
Woohoo!
This
all
will
for
set
the money
tone.
here.
That's right. It'll set the tone.
Here
Yeah,
we
let's
go.
find
Dex
out.
check.
And do any of us notice that he's doing this?
I
Or
mean,
are we all just
Nina's
kind of distracted?
Nina's headed off. She's about like what, maybe 15 feet away. You notice this glowing paw show up on your side of the cart, and it starts reaching for what looks like a green statuette of some kind. What did you
15.
get? 15. So you notice that the paw grabs this statuette and begins pulling, and it just looks like there's this potential landslide of knickknacks about to start tumbling off, and it kind of jiggles it and then lifts it and pulls out, and the landslide kind of fills in on itself, and this knickknack floats out without causing a disruption. What do you do with it, Nina?
Just kind of tuck it underneath the table.
Okay. So it just
So that when I walk by,
disappears from your sight.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because I'm going to walk by and then just kind of, I don't know, stumble and then pick it up, palm that away, and make my way out.
So, Eris, you're standing there. There's a large kind of puddle around this cart of meat. You're not really sure what it was when you walked up to it, but as Caleb begins eating, and there's just like strands of drool and a little bit of like excess that she's not really getting, just like as she chomps away at it, it just kind of drops out. You realize this is actually a pool of slobber from dogs who stand here and eat. And you notice out of the corner of your eye, this glowing paw picks up something and like lowers it to the ground. Saturini is kind of watching it. What do the three of you do?
I mean, it seems like they're doing all right. He's doing all right getting that the paw aspect of things. They're being appropriately subtle about it. I am really, really disgusted by the amount of slobber that is just hanging out here.
Yeah.
It's to be expected living in a city of dogs, but like I feel like it needs to be cleaned up. And I'm just gonna prestidigitate it away as best as I can.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Yeah. As other dogs have walked up to get their sticks of meat, and Kayla as well. I mean, they just walk right through it. It's almost like it doesn't exist, but you see it. It's obviously there. How can they not notice this as they walk up? So you begin casting your spell, and it just evaporates in little bits as you go. One dog, a boxer, kind of like looks down, like confused, and then just goes back to eating their meat. Kayla, what are you doing?
Nina. I'm just gonna see if Nina gets hot again and grab another piece of meat.
Okay. It looks like Nina's been practicing because nothing besides that one came off of the table or the cart, and it just kind of gently floated to the ground and is like waiting there, clutched in the paw.
We're going to the claw machines next.
Oh, those
Number one
mystical, magical machines, right? So Santorini,
Yeah.
all of this is happening. What are you doing?
Well, I kind of see what's going on, and I kind of glance a little suspiciously at Nina, but uh, you know, I'm a ratter. It's fine. But I don't really want to get him in trouble either. So I'm I'm gonna use my puppy dog eyes to kind of distract anyone that might seem to like somehow take notice of
Gotcha.
this paw that's kind of going on. Be like, no, no,
Yeah.
no, there's this thing over here.
Gotcha. Yeah. A cat actually walks by, a sphinx. And so very, very obvious, like, their big eyes glance down and look at the paw and then begin looking around like they know what this is. And then you step up and your eyes widen and blink. Do you have to do any kind of check for that?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Is that one of your tricks?
I think it is.
I think it's advantage. Charisma checks, isn't it?
Yeah. So puppy dog eyes gets an advantage on charisma checks involving making friends or being polite.
Excellent. Why don't you do a charisma check at advantage?
Okay. Let's see. Oh, good thing I had advantage. Let's see. So, 15.
Okay. So it's like looking down, and then it looks up at you, and then it looks down again, and then it kind of pops back up. It's, my, what wonderful eyes you have. And it steps forward and like raises its paw towards you, almost like it wants to touch, like, oh, it's so pretty. And you're so fluffy, and it does kind of bat at the fluff that hangs off of your ears. Oh, I'm sorry, I shouldn't. And it flustered, the Sphinx walks away.
I can give you the name of my groomer.
That's pretty rude.
That's so rude. Nina, you feel like your pilfering is successful. What would you like to do?
Will make my way to the other side of the table and
Okay.
kind of stumble a little bit, and she'll kind of drop down to the ground, swipe the trinket, and then pop up and dust herself off. So clumsy.
See.
And then make her way back to the group.
Okay. So
Her
as
tail
you
is her non-tail, I guess, is she's speaking with the tail. She's
your
pretty
nub,
pleased with her-
right?
Yeah, little nub.
Although in the art for you, you do have like a long swishy tail. So
Oh, do I?
perhaps
Oh.
it is that Nina doesn't have the typical corgi nub.
Maybe she got caught before, and that was the punishment.
Gave her a tail. As you stand up, go ahead and make me. Let's do a wisdom saving throw.
Ooh, wisdom saving throw. Wisdom.
Like just for Nina, right?
Just for Nina.
Okay, good.
I have a thing about wisdom. Hold up. No, that's just for observation stuff. All right. Wisdom.
What does it give you? The thing that you have for observation.
It's keen observer. I believe it's something. I don't know if it's an advantage on perception with smell or hearing.
I will give you. I will give you advantage on this saving throw.
Okay.
Hearing, sight, or smell.
a bonus, so it'll be 16.
16. Okay, so
Nice.
as you pick it up and stand up, all of a sudden you hear this raucous noise and it like startles you because you feel like you've been caught, but you realize that you hear it just down the way. It's further away from you rather than like that ratter on the other side has caught you. And so you manage to like paw the figurine and you like slip it inside your cloak. And you glance down towards where that noise is, and you see a large group of people coming together, and many of them are howling, and some of them are crying out, and there's like raised voices. But it's obviously not, you didn't get caught like you first thought you might have.
Seems like an ample bit of extra distraction, and I'm going to take advantage of that. Pull myself out of the quick point that I found myself in, pointing towards the sound, break out of that and scoot over to the meat cart.
Okay.
So,
Try the meat stick.
oh my god, I love meat sticks. They're the
Delicious.
best part about them is you can chase it afterwards.
That's right. Always keep the stick.
Oh well, I mean until you've chewed it, to bits. That's when you know you need another one.
So we headed out of town now? I want an adventure. You're getting way better at that, by the way. That was very good.
If you're looking for adventure,
I'll cautiously sort of begin kind of creeping towards where the distraction was, trying to figure out what's going on.
Yeah, it seems like there's just more and more people starting to gather around, and they seem very distraught about something.
Curiosity killed the cat, but satisfaction brought her back. So I'm gonna have to, satisfy my curiosity a little bit and
Okay.
follow behind.
Eris, would you be able to maybe climb up and get a bit of a better vantage point and figure out what's going on?
I mean, just because I'm a cat doesn't mean I can. Yes, I can. All right, I can do that.
She's like, don't be speciest, as she jumps up on things and begins
Yeah.
running around.
Pretty much.
Yeah, I've seen videos of cats literally crawling on the walls because they dig their claws in. So
Hang in there.
I guess I'll go check it out too on the edge. But I want to. Are there any pup ales along the way that I could snag? Because I'm pretty thirsty right now.
Absolutely.
All right, I'll grab a couple besides. Go
So
up to the edge of the crowd.
As you all head down there, Kayla grabs, do you call it a pup ale? I want to make sure I'm using the right term you used. Eris, you jump up and you're kind of like jumping from cart to cart, and you get this higher vantage point, and you're looking down into this group, and you see the other three kind of come in the back, and even though Kayla was like, we need some adventure, she's just like, scarfing another meat stick and washing it down with a pup ale. Satarini and Nina are trying to see what is going on, but both of them are a little shorter. It's very hard for them to see. But you notice in the center there's a group of children that are kind of being, they're obviously the central focus of this group, and it looks like there are some adults talking to them, but it's hard to hear because as it looks like the kids are saying something, and then another round of this mournful, worried howling will go up. And even a couple of the cats that are in there, you can hear them. What do you do?
God, I mean, I wish there was a way for me to get in the middle of that without drawing too much attention to myself. But you mentioned that I was doing a little bit of, well, let's not call it parkour, but because I'm a cat. But you mentioned that I was on an elevated platform, so like I'm gonna try and leap into the crowd, not making too much of a fuss, but just enough of one to find out what's going on.
All right. Why don't you go ahead and do a dexterity check? And while you roll that, I'm going to bring up the fact that in Pugmire, unlike 5th edition, which Pugmire was built from, there is a mechanic called Fortune. Fortune is a point or a chip or some kind of thing that you keep reference with that you can spend to re-roll a roll that goes badly or however you want to do it. because you start each game with 2,
Mhm.
I can give you one whenever I feel like it. If you land this parkour, even though that you are a cat, I'm going to throw another fortune into the pot.
I mean, a cat always lands on their feet. Unfortunately, I'm not very dexterous as a cat, so I only got a 14.
A 14, that is plenty.
Yeah.
So, as you jump into this crowd, what do you like? How does that look?
I land 3-point landing, superhero style, in the middle of the crowd. People coincidentally step out of the way of me without realizing that I'm behind them, and they're kind of shocked or whatever. But then I just try to slip away back into the crowd and nonchalantly brush myself off like nothing happened. Completely normal behavior for a cat.
Excellent. So just remember, and I'm going to make a note of it real quick. The group has 3. Oh, now I forgot what it was called.
Fortune.
Fortune, thank you. And anyone can use that. So
Oh, so it's like a pool of inspiration
it
for the
is.
group.
Yeah, you just need to ask, may I use a fortune? And the group can say yes or no. I can tell that Bryan already is going to shoot everybody down.
Is there a wheel of fortune?
There could be. This is
Bri-
future Earth.
Bryan, it's my first game with y'all. You have to be nice to me. That's just how it works.
I would like to take advantage of my noble lineage with the good breeding background trick.
Okay.
Sort of just make my way through the crowd and sort of get to the front. Excuse me, pardon me, out of my way. And
What does that trick give you?
it says characters assume the dog has every right to be where he is. Commoners attempt to please the noble or avoid displeasure. If you spend fortune, you can declare a previously unknown NPC noble is an old friend or relative on good terms with the dog.
Interesting. Okay, so as you begin to work your way through, there are a lot of taller dogs than you, and they kind of look down at you in irritation as you're pushing through. You interrupted their howl, and then they realize, oh, this is Santorini. Now this is the noble, and so they kind of nod their head, and then they go back to their howl. As Santorini moves their way through their crowd, Kayla and Nina, what are you doing? Are you going to follow, or are you going to stay where you are in the outside of the crowd?
I'll follow.
Okay.
I'll just kind of jump right into the wake of this Santorini.
Okay. And Nina?
Are basic spells like cantrips where they don't use a spell slot?
I believe
don't
that is the
remember.
case.
Okay, cool. So I'm going to cast another basic spell.
Okay.
Magic Paw is a basic spell. This will
Correct.
be a basic spell. I'm going to cast Smell Magic.
Interesting.
Going to sniff out the unseen.
Okay.
If it should be present. Because sometimes when there's lots of distress and there's no good explanation, it must be the unseen.
So as you cast this, as the other two are heading in, you definitely catch a whiff. It's a hint. It's not strong, but there's definitely something not right in the middle of that crowd.
I'm going to approach cautiously, just keeping my nose to the wind.
Okay.
And resist the urge to point. I don't want to let anyone know that I know.
Okay.
I'm trying to channel my inner cat. Sneak paw, sneak paw, sneak paw, sneak paw, toes.
You're not a Pomeranian, okay?
Rub. All right,
That's right.
Eris, as you're in this crowd and you've worked your way towards the front, you notice that there are these 3 children. There is a young bulldog, a young yellow lab, and a small boxer. As you're listening, it seems that they found something in the marsh nearby to the south of town, and everyone is very upset by what it is they found. But you, as you're listening, go ahead and make a wisdom check.
Oh, wisdom. I do have. Oh, well, I mean, I am good at that, but that is dependent on a roll that is also good. That would be a 13.
A 13 is
Yeah.
enough.
Ah.
You keep hearing these like bits of speech that are talking about a human. Somebody found a human.
What?
And then as they're talking about it, mournful or excited, depending on what bits, because in a moment I'll explain the mournful side, but like over here somebody says they found a human, and like a dog is like, their tail starts wagging and they start like yipping excitedly or like howling excitedly. But over here you hear something about the human is like upset with them, that the children like made the human angry and sent them away. So then the dog next to them will begin howling mournfully, something is terrible. What do you do?
I So I'm incredibly curious about this whole human situation, but this marshland aspect of things, I'm not exactly fond of water or mess in the
Yeah,
grand scheme of things.
I mean, to get here
Um,
you had to deal with so much of it to begin with.
I
Going out
know
already.
I'm still kind of frazzled, like from the entire journey. It's been so much. So I mean, that being said, human. So I turn to the group. I try to find where everybody else is and notice that they're still a ways away. But
Okay.
I walk up to the kids and I'm like, "Hey, so you said there's a human that's upset with you? Tell me more. Where did you find them? Are they just wandering around? Is there anywhere that you know that they're hiding out at?"
So the bulldog who like just has like the bulldog's face is just wet. And you're not
Hmm.
sure if it's from slobber or if the bulldog has been crying, but it
Hmm.
rubs its arm across its face and yeah, we saw a human. It was in a temple that we found in the mire.
And I again, because it's a basic spell, I press to digitate away their tears, and I'm like, "It's okay. You're safe now, and I'll find out what's going on with this angry human. We
You
need
know,
to make sure."
you know magic, and he reaches out and like pets your fur.
I back away very suddenly. Children are sticky at the best of
Oh
times.
yeah,
Bulldogs, don't
right.
trust them.
As this interaction is going on, Setarini, you manage to get like you're maybe a couple of people away from them at this point. What do you do?
Um, did I manage to overhear any of that?
You could do
Or
a wisdom check at advantage.
okay.
It is a little difficult to hear because of all the howling and yipping that's going on, but
I have sharp hearing.
mm,
I managed to get a 20.
nice. So yeah, even
Uh,
though there's people next to you that are just spontaneously erupting into howling, whether it's excited or mournful, you do hear this conversation between Eris and this bulldog child.
I'm used to blocking out the plebes,
Right.
so it's fine. Um, uh, Interesting. And I think for a second, do we have a place that like people take lost humans and try to
I
like
mean,
reunite?
no one has seen a human in recorded history, so for them to have found a live human is like a world changing event. Like, no
Interesting.
one really knows for sure where the humans went other than they're just not here anymore. And so, there's a whole church of man that, like, um, they worship the word of man and try to, teach everyone to be a good dog and make sure that, they're doing as, you know, they should according to man.
I will sort of speak up and try to calm the crowd down a bit,
Okay.
and let them know that we will look into this and figure out what's happening and how it will affect the city. Everything's fine.
Okay.
Go about your business.
So as you're doing this, and I'll have you do a charisma check. Are you doing your puppy dog eyes?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, you have
Um,
advantage.
yeah. 17.
Okay. So as you're doing this, and a lot of the people are, kind of like, yeah, but we're curious I guess we'll find out when they announce what happened. Everyone kind of just starts dispersing. Kayla, while you're standing there and people are dispersing, you notice there is a robed Staffordshire Terrier that's kneeling next to the children and trying to calm them. And as she stands and is looking around at everyone, she notices you. And you see that this is Winnie. You know that she is part of the Church of Man. Recently, she came back with some very strange news that she had been to some place, that there were other creatures, and she never saw a human, but these creatures seemed human-like. And a lot of people have like kind of been like, yeah, Winnie, whatever, you're a staffy, you can't be trusted. But Winnie, she's always been a good dog to you. She catches like your eye, and like there's recognition, and she starts walking towards you. Bryan, sorry, Kayla, I'm so glad you're here. These children have found a human.
You see my tail start to kind of swing side to side.
Okay.
A little bit unconsciously. Well, we have to verify this. We mustn't get our hopes up.
But I know that the rumor's already circulating, but we have to kind of keep this quiet. Apparently, they upset the human. It wanted a donation, and they hadn't brought anything with them. And so it sounded an alarm. The children can't really tell me what happened after that because they ran away. But we want to take something to the human. Could you do that?
Yes, if that human wants trouble, I will give it a battle axe.
You can't just.
Oh,
you can't,
Kayla.
You can't kill a human. It's blasphemy.
Human comes after me. Yes, I can. So,
Well-
yes, Ruff, I will take something, have the children draw a map, and we will sniff it out.
So she sits down with the children and asks them where this temple that they found was, because this area has been fairly well explored, and there's not really any temples that are unknown to them. So, she sits down with them, they begin explaining, but it sounds like it's kind of to the southwest of Pugmire. More like a tree-filled area of the mire.
Did they happen to see what this human looked like?
Had 2 arms and 2 legs. It was taller than them.
Did it say what it wanted?
So she says, she turns to the kids again, and the yellow lab says it said it wanted a donation or something, and when we didn't put anything into its bucket, it started an alarm, and something came out of like one of the other rooms in the temple, and it scared us, so we ran away.
Did you see anything else in the bucket that was already there?
No, we didn't look.
Oh, well.
They follow you out of the temple?
I don't know. Oh, and Nina, since you've caught up with them all, you see there are faint traces of the unseen, kind of just not like nothing about them is magical, but it's almost like something has like how an odor can cling to you, like sticking your nose as you leave a place that has like a very strong something about the place they went has kind of stuck to them.
She's going to get uncomfortably close. Nose straight into him.
I don't think there's such a thing for a dog.
She's going to thoroughly sniff and inspect.
Okay.
Her hackles are raised a little bit.
So as you do this, the boxer child like automatically just points his butt towards you, and when he's like, no, Patch, stop that. You have been told better. That is not an okay. No.
Okay, no.
But she will focus on trying to get a kind of an image scent picture in her head as well compiled as she can.
Okay. there's definitely a scent of mustiness, of something that has been covered for a long time. But there's this weird, it reminds you of decay that is in the wisps of scent.
Definitely human.
I'll slide a side eye, little sassy side eye to the rest of the group. We should go before we lose the trail.
I agree, but we need to be careful. We don't know what humans are capable of. They're,
But we know
Yeah.
they're not capable of being alive.
well, obviously that's not true. At least in this case. Do you think the kids are lying? Do you think that they would do that?
You know, sometimes when I'm inside my apartment, I think something's banging on the door, and then I jump up and I'm like, "Hey, who's at the door?" And then I go to the door, and then there's no one at the door.
Mm.
Maybe it's like something like that, where like there might be somebody walking down the street, but they're not really walking down the street. But you got to make sure and let everyone know that there's someone walking down the street.
Yeah, dogs are a little skittish. I mean, like they say us cats have that down, but the way that y'all react to any random person, I'm sorry, but
It's okay.
regardless of whether or not they're lying or they just don't know what it actually was, we need to find out. They're obviously upset, and this could be a lucrative opportunity for all of us, you know. Plus, we were looking for adventure earlier, weren't we, Kayla?
We were. And I have meat sticks we can give the human.
Do you think they want the sticks or the meat? Because I may need to hold on to that otherwise if we want to give them the meat.
Yeah, that's probably true. Well, hopefully we find them fast.
Was there anything else that these children can tell us about where this happened? Any interesting sights, smells,
Yeah.
anything else?
So as they are explaining this to you, everyone notices that some of those people that had left are coming back, and they're bringing like little bundles of things. There might be, like knickknacks or, other shiny objects, some plates. There's some foods, fruits, meats, and they're handing them to Winnie, and they're like, if you could give this to the human and give them our apologies, we didn't know. And so she's like collecting this like large amount of donations to give to the human.
I'll help her start organizing.
One for the human, one for me. So yeah, Satarini, as you sit down and they kind of explained it to you, apparently they were out playing in the that like forested area in the mire, and Brutus actually fell through a hole in the ground that they hadn't seen, and there was like a breaking sound as he did it, like almost like glass or something, but much larger. And he fell through, and he ended up getting caught on like some kind of pillar that was underneath the ground, and they could see down into it, and there was a temple underneath there. And so they climbed down the pillar and went exploring.
And were they supposed to be in this area, or was this off limits?
It's not really odd for people to go out of town or whatever.
But children?
Was it safe for them to like go into an unexplored ruin? Probably not.
Well, either way, I will make sure that we get them some comfort meat sticks and maybe a toy or something from the market, so that they can sort of shake off the whole encounter that they had and sort of get distracted and go back to doing what they normally do, and
Yeah, recently there's been this kind of uptick in these like strange they're like puzzle treat boxes, where essentially the child has to like figure out how to get the treat out of this this box that's inside, or like that it's inside of. And so you go and find one of those and bring it back, and they're like, "Oh, that's awesome!" And they begin playing with it, and soon, like, their tears are all dried, and they're just completely elsewhere in their mind. But when he
Seeing that
stands,
they have whole restaurants that have those experiences. They are amazing.
right,
You get lost in there for like hours.
Escape plates.
right, escape plates. I love it.
Are you guys familiar with the Michelin Star Award from the Monarchies? I feel like you'd really enjoy this.
They're very shrewd giving those out.
It's a new thing here in Pugmire. A couple of the cats have tried to bring it over, but there's been a little resistance because, dogs are like, we don't need anything from the monarchy to say our restaurants are good. But then, like, the restaurateurs are like, but if it brings in more clients.
Additional clientele is always a boon for business.
I hear there's bribes involved. I don't know what I feel about this.
I mean, of course there are. Of course there is. It's the monarchy.
I heard they only give them out to places that serve meat. Just saying.
Well, if you serve me, you already have 3 stars.
That seems Meowist to me.
I don't get that whole like weird like thing that they serve you at the very beginning and at the very end. The what's it called, a mouche bouche or something like that, like made with the that plant that the cats like to lick on, and then they like fall out of their chairs for a little while.
Look, I can understand. We have a different understanding of what good actually is sometimes. But please don't malign my meow line. Anyway, my culture. It's very important to me. It's a religious experience almost.
Speaking of religious experiences,
you have to tell us all about it later.
Right. Winnie walks up to you after realizing that the children have like completely been distracted and they're not going to finish telling you about what they saw. And so she will relay to them that the earlier story that she had been told, that was, after they climbed down in, they were in a multi-tiered temple. There was like a large area that was on the upper floor that they climbed into, and they could see down into it, and there were staircases that went down. And so, after kind of exploring around, they decided to go down into the staircase, or down the staircases in deeper into the temple. And that's where they found the human, kind of further in the shadows.
So what you're really saying is that this temple hasn't even been fully explored and documented properly.
No, not at all.
When do we hit the road?
There might be some valuables in there.
Oh, I mean, I wouldn't be going there for that. I mean, we would be going there for science and for the glory of Pugmire and to be good dogs. Because
good dogs.
Yeah.
Speaking of good dogs. Okay, she's done.
So we volunteer. We'll go.
Okay.
We'll go. Expert knows, can find the stuff. I know a thing or two about human temples, and happy to take an expedition.
Yeah, me too, because I've read all about human temples, and they are the best.
So Winnie ends up giving like each of you a sack of these donations, and people are still bringing them, and she's just like, "We'll take more later. This hopefully this will like appease the human and keep them from putting any bad dog stigma on us."
We think we're giving all this to the humans. You're crazy.
I am quick to take as much of the meat sticks as I can, just to make sure that nobody else gets to them. It's not that I don't trust y'all. It's just
you have noticed that the sack that Winnie hands you is mostly the food. There might be a couple other objects in it, but she like obviously like gives you an eye and hands it to you. She's like, "I know my own kind."
I appreciate it. Thank you. We want to make sure that this human gets the best that Pugmire has to offer. And, wow, I glance around at everybody else.
Right. And my eyes follow the
right? And there's definitely like a
food.
strand, like already dangling from Kayla's
Of
jaw.
course.
I am a Labrador, not Turner and Hooch dog. Okay,
I didn't say there was a fountain of drool, just a strand.
we don't drool. We sozzle.
Fair enough. So, are you all heading out? Is there anything you want to do before you leave Pugmire? Treats.
Well, more meat sticks. And have we evolved to be able to eat chocolate?
No, you can't have chocolate or coffee. Stay away from grapes.
Come on, Nina, you got some magic for that, don't you?
For
Onions.
I want to
eating
eat chocolate. I've read about it.
Yeah, you and I both know that is a bad idea. Remember the last time someone ate chocolate that they found in that temple that one time? Did not end.
It was because it was bad chocolate. We need good chocolate.
Well, I mean, it's always good. All of it's good, just isn't good for us. You know, like I guess there are perks to being human.
Should have been born a goat.
They can eat anything.
It's true they can't eat anything.
I've literally watched a goat rip apart part of a car. So yep, they're the weirdest animal.
Well, I start trotting off on the road.
Okay. So everybody heads out, and you're following this, little drawn out map that Winnie made. And it does lead you southwest of town. In the distance, you see like a copse of trees in the mire. And Eris, there are dryish areas in the direction that you're heading, and you're kind of like trying to step on those. But like the humidity is just kind of making your fur stand out. And it's just very uncomfortable, but you managed to keep going.
I'm
And
constantly prestidigitating myself, trying to maintain my cool and like make sure that my hair doesn't get too fuzzy,
absolutely.
frizzy.
Being a Sphinx right now would definitely be better.
I have wished that on occasion, but you're born with what you got. So
That's true.
yeah.
Something. So as you enter this copse of trees, like it's starting to get a little darker out. But up ahead, you do see this like mound that was described on, by the children, and it's like marked on the map. So right near that, you should be able to find this hole.
I'm going to cast smell magic again.
Okay.
Get to the ground. Gonna sniff around, check the trees. Probably leave a mark or two just to let people know I was here. And gonna do a kind of a circle that goes inside a circle, until I get to the edge of the hole, just to see if there's any variance of that smell or any presence of that smell, presence of other dogs, confirmation that those children were actually here, those sorts of things.
I'm gonna be ready with my battle axe and kind of just be alert for danger.
Okay.
I'll fire up my hooded lantern if it's getting that dark.
Hasn't got quite that dark yet. It's not even dim yet, but bringing it with you, you've been told that it's darker in the temple, so it's definitely a good idea. Nina, you pretty much can follow this like strange scent directly to the hole, and there's almost like this very faint like aura rising out, kind of like these wisps. It's very strange. You've never seen anything quite like this. And you get closer, and there's definitely a pup-sized hole, a little bit larger, in the ground, and you can see down into this pit. There's a large column, and there's definitely like some kind of flooring underneath. Bits of shiny glass are down there, and some dirt, and you can see where the pups, kind of like climbed over on this pillar and then slid down. However, Saturini did bring Eris some shiny, what color rope?
I don't know. Do you have a favorite color?
I mean, purple, silver,
Purple?
something metallic.
Oh
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
So there's like it's like a purple rope, but then there's like strands of silver run through it. It's very
Ooh.
shiny and nice.
I love it. Thank you so much. I am not going to use it in order to climb, just so you know. This is my own personal use rope. I have plans for it later. But how far down did you say the hole went?
Looking down, it looks like maybe 25, 30 feet.
Oh,
And I have a rope with me, a normal rope, not a
Okay.
fancy.
let's
I don't
use
think
yours.
I don't take fancy ropes on adventures. That's for home. Um, so I can tie off some rope. I'm sure there's a rock or a tree nearby,
There are some
and
trees, yeah.
drop it down the hole, and we can use that. We can use that to climb down. That will help us.
Okay. So as Satarini is tying off this rope, you have 50 feet of rope, and it easily ties off to the tree, and you can drop it down, and it makes it to the floor beneath you. While that's going on, Kayla and Nina, what are you doing?
Taking a look at a spell real quick.
Okay.
I don't think it's going to be helpful.
Okay.
So I keep forgetting that floating disc doesn't go up and down.
How weird.
I
Can
know,
you push
right?
it?
You can, it can push. I think it just follows me. If I move more than 20 feet away from it, it just kind of.
Oh, so you can't like ride it down, but you could
Yeah,
jump
it
and it
does
would
carry
be like.
dogs.
So if we dug this out and made it into a ramp, it would follow you. Maybe.
Maybe, yeah. So you can hold the weight of up to 3 dogs. Let's see here.
I
That's
volunteer to go down the hole first.
All right, it's immobile while I am within 20 feet of it. It can go up and down stairs, slopes, and the like. Can go across uneven terrain, but it can't cross an elevation change of 10 feet or more.
No, yeah, I would definitely
It can't go up and down.
get stuck. Eris, you notice that Kayla is like preemptively like she just so excited to go down this rope, but as it gets tossed down, she begins to scamper down it. Is there anything that you're doing in preparation while everyone else is doing this stuff?
I am desperately trying not to play with the rope. It's basically twine, which is the most amazing thing in the world, honestly. Like some people say that nip. Oh, buddy.
Sorry, now that she's making an appearance and is talking behind me, I'll go ahead and be like, there she is.
You should totally take a picture of her face and put it on yours.
Right?
That would be great for Pugmire.
Hold on, let me go grab my. No, but I'm trying to, not play with the rope too much, and
Okay.
I'm glancing around, and I'm like, yeah, I can't be the first one down, and it doesn't look like I'm going to be, so I will slowly make my way down, following behind them, just kind of chilling, hanging out in the back, making sure that nothing too terrifying comes out and gets me.
Okay. So Kayla, as you scamper down this rope, you notice that it opens up like it is a very vast temple. It's much longer than it is wider, but even the width of it is, several yards across.
Just like I've read. This is awesome.
And you land, or like you come down to the landing, and it looks like there are some stairs on either side of the landing that go down into the darkness. But there's like a very wide catwalk, or upper floor that goes around that lower floor, and there are doors that just line every side of the catwalk up on top.
Very nice. Now, I don't see anywhere in my character. Can we see in the dark, or do we need some sort of light source?
You will need a light source.
Even me? What? I feel like that's okay. Fine.
I'm not totally.
Right.
Rage quit.
Flip the table.
Right.
Game.
I mean, if need be, I can just use a lantern. But
I'm coming. I'm coming. I got my lantern.
I have a torch. So, I will light my torch.
Okay.
And kind of like give the immediate area kind of a sweep through, maybe walk down a step or two on either side just to look at the lay of the land. But as I'm doing that, I go, all clear, come on down.
Okay. So as you're doing that, and Eris is coming down the rope after you, Nina and Satarini, who's going next?
I'll go.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll slide down that rope.
Okay.
I'll kind of I'll slide down, and then at the bottom I'll light up my lantern and shine it around. And are the doors? You said there's doors all over. Are they solid doors, or are they barred doors, or?
So I was going to wait until everyone's down there, and then I'll do a group explanation of what everyone sees. Nina, are you coming down?
Come
Yeah,
on.
Nina will come down after doing one last perimeter sniff,
Mm-hmm.
just to make sure that we've not been followed.
Make me a wisdom check.
All right.
This
Is it a
one
wisdom
is,
check?
This one is not going to be at advantage.
Okay. Let's see. Wisdom. I don't think I have a. Oh, come on, program. You can do this. I do not have a bonus. All right. 18.
What a beautiful sound. As
It's been forever since I rolled a dice.
Right?
Yes.
Actual dice. Hooray! As you look around, you catch this flash of light. It's off in the distance. It's very unnatural. Like you're in this kind of shaded area of this forest, and it just doesn't look right. It catches your eye, and then it's gone.
It'll be a slight growl as I slink my way down the rope.
Okay.
And I get into the bottom. I'm going to pull out kind of a chewed on femur that I pulled out from the forest, my arcane focus, what I used to focus my magic. Might be human, I don't know. It could be. I haven't really bothered to take it out, but yeah, take a look around, get a smell. Is this place stronger, scent of unseen?
Yeah, so everybody, comes down and looks around. Kayla is peering down, has gone down a few of the stairs off to one side and is holding her torch out and looking down into the darkness. Nina, you take a deep breath in. It definitely smells musty. The air down here hasn't circulated in ages. But there's something else that you're catching that just smells upsetting to you. Like your hackles just rise from it, but you can't pinpoint it. It's definitely stronger in this area, but it smells unnatural. Satarini, as you look and you're looking at these doors, so it looks like most of the doors are actually doorways that have large, portcullises pulled down over them. Some of them are closed glass doors, but they have locks on them that you can see through there's handles on them and you can see the locks. There are signs that are above all of them in bright, colorful letters. It's hard to make out what they say. You don't Is there I don't know if anyone got through this part of the book, part about reading human?
Interesting. I'm curious if I have heard anything about something like this.
Gotcha.
I have the skill Know History.
Oh, nice.
So I'm wondering if it maybe reminds me of maybe a legend or story or something I read somewhere.
So what does Know History give you?
I know stuff.
I know things.
See if I can find.
While you're looking it up, I do see Nina says that cats have provided you with ancient texts on magic and myth.
I've been working with the cats for a while. I lift stuff for them or, find things.
Right.
It's a better word for it. I find things. I I give them the things. They give me magic. It's a great relationship. I also really enjoy the whole you'll also find other stuff here because cats know things that dogs don't.
So, a while back, a cat gave you not only a small book that was folded up into it was more like a few sheets of paper, and they were very, very fragile, and so you had to like be very careful in unfolding them. But like in your deciphering of the texts, it was like some kind of manual for the instruction of use to the device that the cat also gave you. It was kind of a rectangular box that opened on one side, and inside it had these little spindles, and you like could spin the spindles, and you feel like reading the text and like kind of looking in there and like the little pieces that were part of this like strange contraption. There used to be like some power source that you could feed into this that would make those spindles turn, and then there was like this extra piece that you had to put into it, but you were not really sure like what it did. However, it did have like a word that you recognize that is now on, like that word is on above one of these doors.
What's the word?
It's a word.
I mean,
So-
is it like a word I would understand, or is it just a match
Right.
to?
That's what I don't know. That's part of the book I haven't found.
So I'm a
Good question.
voracious learner.
Like
Is it
being-
possible? Is it possible that I could decipher this word with my voracious learner trick?
Why doesn't
You would-
everyone collectively do a group intelligence check?
Okay,
I
hang
do-
on.
Yeah.
My trick allows me to have advantage on intelligence checks if
Nice.
it's possible that I would have this in my background, like come across stuff like this before.
I mean, you know Nina, and so maybe you've all been. She's shown you things.
Can I
I-
get like a +5 on that then? For the group check?
I also have a voracious learner,
Okay.
and since it came from a cat, I would imagine. I would have
Absolutely,
some-
that's fine.
Yeah.
In
10.
fact, you could be the cat that brought it to Nina.
Hey,
Oh,
Nice. Well, who?
do I say that twice?
Got a 19.
19. Nina, what'd you get? 10. Kayla,
Let's not even talk about what I got. I got a 4.
that was advantage.
Well, I didn't roll it with
Oh,
advantage.
roll advantage. Both you and Eris.
Well,
That
with
gives me a
advantage.
13.
Okay, and Eris.
17.
Okay.
Oh,
So, you like between Nina and Eris in the past, you deciphered the word that was like imprinted onto the top of this this paper, and as a group, you know, you've had conversations about these things that you've discovered. Nina, you're very excited about these things, and so Kayla, you have learned part of it before. Satarini, you recognize it from conversation. It says Radio Shack.
Wow, that's like
Fascinating.
that is as pre-human as you get
I mean, that's even pre-human for wow.
for humans.
Yeah.
You, so no history allows me to recall information about historical events, legendary people, and some common myths about lost civilizations
Yeah.
of man.
You know that Radio Shacks were once where great mages toiled away, selling the masses magical devices, much like the one that Nina got from Eris.
I have something called No Arcana. Would I be able to figure out more about this?
Sure, go ahead and roll it.
All right.
This is a power.
Intelligence check, I think. What's that?
Can I
I feel
aid? I believe I also have no Arcana.
Sure.
Give advantage.
I feel
In the
this is a
meantime, I'm gonna waller on the ground near the sign to mark it as mine.
I know nothing. Let's just call it a 5.
Okay. So Nina gave you advantage, helping you. So go ahead and roll
Oh.
one more time and let me know what you get.
Oh, this time, what is my bonus? This is intelligence, you said, so that would be a 12.
12, much better. A little vague as far as what you learned used to happen here. There was the device that you gave Nina. You feel like it had something to do with the there was a mage that would like capture sound on the thing that you put into this device, and then this device could replay that sound on command. It was amazing. At least Nina thinks it was amazing. As a cat, I don't know if you found it quite as amazing.
I mean, like it's pretty cool, I suppose. Like I can make things sound like things on command anyway, but the fact that humans could do this like on such a scale that they have an entire shop for it, that's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think we need to go in there because, I mean, one, the symbols match, and these are important symbols to the humans and across so many of these amazing devices that surely there might be things in there that could provide an amazing wealth of information and wealth.
I mean, if capturing sound is the least of what they could do at this Radio Shacky, we should definitely check it out because like there might be, I don't know, like something that's so far beyond what we can do. Definitely.
I agree 100%. And if we can find something here for tribute, we can keep the food.
Yes, yes. Although we should be cautious. This was obviously a place of great power, so could be some dangerous things about. We should be careful.
Definitely. I am going to let y'all take the lead. My big, strong, good boys. You know, you can take the brunt of the danger for me, and protect little old me.
So Kayla, as you've been like marking your territory, rubbing on everything, like the portcullis that's before it is definitely secured somehow, and behind that you do also see glass doors that have been locked. So it's going to be a bit of work to get through this, but you feel pretty confident that you have the strength to do it.
I have some tools. Perhaps we don't need to smash or destroy anything. I do have some tools. I've got.
I mean, this is a temple, so
got some ratter tools with me. Perhaps we see if we can unlock these secrets before we cause any damage. We don't want to anger the human.
They do like their locks and their weird, like, door handle things that are so hard to open with a paw. Humans are always doing things to confound us, keep us out.
I can give you a few pointers on that once we get back to town.
That's why we grew thumbs, our ancestors.
So how do you want to deal with the portcullis then?
I can try and unlock it. See if there's some way to unlock it.
Is there a lift
I
gates?
ratter tools.
Oh, excellent. Yeah, if you'd like to try those on it.
Sure. Give it a whirl.
So
Let's
it'd be
see.
a dex check. And then go ahead and add your proficiency. Should be 2.
Dex plus. So I add Dex plus proficiency.
Yes, please.
22.
Nice. So it's in really good shape compared to things that you've seen, brought in by other, relic hunters and such. This lock is in really good condition, and so you slip your ratter's tools in there, and you hear a click, and it turns, and like the tension that holds the portcullis down goes away.
See if we can lift it up. Is it heavy?
It's surprisingly light, actually.
Just kind of lift it out of the way, I guess.
And as you lift it, you see like it is like it drops. It looks like it drops down from the ceiling, and so it like rises up, and you can see it rolling up into itself. It's an amazing device.
Interesting.
What's that?
The wonders never cease.
The wonders never cease. And so beyond that, you see these glass doors, and it's very dark inside, but you can see a little bit of sunlight is glinting off some stuff that's like kind of near you. You see some small packages that have like a shiny material. It's called plastic. like shiny material with something held inside of it. What do you do?
Pot the glass. Move. Like if I push on it, does it do anything?
It seems like the door is locked,
Hmm.
but you could try your adder's tools again.
I mean, I guess might as well. These humans and their locks. What is up with this?
It's part of their culture. I think it shows status.
The
Because
more
humans
locks
without
you
locks were humans that weren't high enough in human hierarchy to I guess be better good boys than us.
They have all these powerful relics just laying around. I'm sure that's why they're doing it.
Right. Makes sense. Yeah, I don't know. Well, I guess we'll try and open it
Okay,
again.
go ahead and do your adder's tools.
See what it does. 17.
17. This one is also in really good condition. It's a little stiff, and so as you turn it, click, you hear the click inside, and the door is unlocked.
Yes, we have success.
Okay,
Someone
enter cautiously. You don't know what's in there. Any of those things that are in there could be very dangerous. Yes.
You're scaring me there. I mean, I don't know if I can handle all this danger. I'm gonna have to hide. Just make sure that nobody else sees me. Make sure that none of the well, I mean, I'll try to hide at least.
Are you gonna hide outside the doorway or
like just beyond the doorway kind of thing?
Okay.
Make sure that they take care of things before I go too far in.
So does everyone just kind of like go in and
Friends.
spread out, or how are you doing this?
I'll lead in, friends. Stand back. I've read about these Boabi traps that
Boabies.
humans were famous for.
Don't touch anything.
Well,
So-
I mean, eventually, once we know it's safe, then you can touch it.
Sure.
But you can't know it's safe until you touch it.
Well, I mean, there's a process of elimination as to like safe or not safe, bark or don't bark.
Okay, I'll go in.
First, smell it first, and then
Who's
if
going
it smells okay.
last?
I am.
Make me a wisdom check at advantage.
Oh, fancy. Thank goodness for advantage.
Eris knows what's up.
I got exactly one better. 16.
16. So as you start heading in, like they're kind of making some noise, not like a whole bunch, but there's a noise that isn't in front of you. It isn't them. It's kind of off that direction into because you can't see either end of this temple, but you do hear something in that direction, almost like a click, and then there's like a whirring noise.
My ears kind of perk up, swivel around a little bit, and you can see my tail puff up a little bit. And I whisper to them. I say, I heard something. There's a click and a whir. I think the human may have found us. I think there may be some more of those Boabi traps.
Are you sure it's not the thing that blows out the air that's either hot or cold?
No. Am I sure?
I mean, it doesn't quite sound like that, but maybe?
It's possible, but, we're in an ancient human temple. I don't think that taking any potential danger for granted is something we should do.
In fact, as you're conversing, you become more and more convinced it's not one of those things that turns on and blows out hot or cold air, because it's getting louder.
And I convey that. It's getting louder. Can you not hear it? Like,
in fact, you can all hear it as it gets louder and louder.
We should perhaps find somewhere to conceal ourselves in here and wait for it to pass.
there's
Absolutely.
always a place that is perfect cover in every shop that I've ever been into that stands up and then has writing on it usually, or little packets hanging in front on these little weird metal things. And then there's the big box that goes ding when you push a button on it, and then it spits out the thing in the front. And then usually there's weird things inside the thing that goes ding. Hide back there.
Eris, that is the most dog explanation you've ever heard a dog.
Yes. I just nod along and walk slowly towards this thing that is obviously the front counter, the cash register and what have
Gotcha.
you.
Yeah.
It usually contains these
Nina?
things, and I'll hold up plastic coins that
Right.
I have in my pouch. But they're much heavier than this usually.
And like some weird paper with like humans on
Their
it.
faces printed on it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They really liked that stuff.
They're very full of
it's really
themselves, I say. Yeah.
If we find some, maybe we can give that as tribute.
So Nina,
Oh.
as you turn and you like start heading towards that area that you were speaking of, you see several like columns of these packages that have what you just like realize like from the illustration inside that are on those papers that you were reading, and like from opening all of the different like door or like little panels on that device that Eris gave you, you know that these are the power source for that device.
And there's a lot of them.
There's so many of them. You can't even count that many.
Oh my god! I mean, there's. I get the zoomies. I just kind of skid about and shake a little bit and pant and just so excited. And I'm just grabbing.
So as Nina begins doing the zoomies and everyone else is like, you were heading to hide from whatever was coming, Nina runs over and starts like grabbing these packages and like stuffing them into her bag. Nina, make me a wisdom check. This one's going to be at advantage.
All right. Wisdom. I have a 0 on wisdom. 10.
10. You smell something that's kind of acrid. It kind of burns your nose, but you were so excited you're really not worried about it, and you're just stuffing these things into your bag. Eris, Kayla, and Satarini, you see a form, this like kind of box-looking thing, moves in front of the door, and then through a layer of dirt on part of it, a human face appears and is like, "Hello, shoppers. The mall will be closing in 15 minutes. Please finish your purchases and move to the exit." And then it turns off and it wheels back the way that it came from.
Do you think that was the human the puppies were talking about? Do you think that's, or do you think it's
I get all
one of the
defensive.
servants?
Get all defensive. The fur goes up. I'm like, what was that? What was that? And I like pull out my crossbow. Like,
It didn't sound angry though.
No.
And you don't hear any alarm, and it didn't ask for a donation. And also the children did say it had legs and arms, and this was just like a head in a box. It's a little disconcerting.
Is that where all the humans went? To
Well-
those boxes.
They put a lot of themselves in boxes. I mean, like there's some boxes that have like all sorts of ghosts of humans in them that are doing everyday things, like driving cars after each other with lights that go, and then sometimes they get caught and wrestled to the ground, and it's a lot of flashing lights. It's a whole thing.
do we know about cars?
I feel like dogs would know something about cars. Like they must be like an ancient religious.
Right?
It's got to be a rite of
yeah.
like chasing something.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's
Everything.
legends of like the great dog who caught the car.
Yeah.
And those stupid coyotes that never did.
The mailman is like the Pugmire version of Santa Claus. You know,
Love it. Brings things to the door.
But
Well,
All right, what do you do?
should we explore this shop further or go deeper into the halls?
I think if we need to find out where this human is, the kids did mention that they were down below. They were on the lower levels. So I think we should go down the halls. You know.
More stairs. Let's do it.
Okay.
I want to put those things in the thing with, the little hard back on the back of it, and kind of rip open one of the soft pack plastic things.
Oh yeah.
And then
As you do
chew on the
so, as you do that, that acrid smell becomes way more noticeable. And as you look at them, they're covered in some kind of like goop.
Oh.
Damn.
I inspect all the packages. Are they all gooped?
They look like they're all goopy inside. Yeah,
Oh, wow. That's probably how they come or something. I don't know.
could be.
Stick it in anyway.
What's that?
Stick it in anyway.
Okay. So
I don't know how that works.
do you have the device with you?
Oh my god.
Do I? It's not on my sheet, but
You probably left it at your.
I'll hold on to some of these packs.
Okay.
Save room in my bag for more, but get an assortment of those things because they come in different sizes and different shapes. They'll be needed later for other things.
You get a little confused because as you're, once you calm down and you decide that you want to, look at these and figure out which shape fits into the device that you have, there are two that are like almost identical. One's just a little smaller than the other, and it looks like each of them has like a marking saying like like some kind of distinction between each one. But with the two that are almost similar, one has 2 of this marking, one has 3 of this marking. It's almost like they're identical, and you're not sure which one goes into the device you have.
Well, 3 is always better than 2.
That's true.
So I'm going to get 2 of the 2s and 3 of the 3s.
Okay.
Because humans really liked numbers and sequences of numbers and sequences of markings, obviously, like, Radio Shaki and Taiwan, had, weird symbols with it. And there's weird symbols in the back, too, that are also not the same symbols. These little drawings, but they look like chicken scratch, kind of.
Yeah.
Nina, can I help you out a little bit? And I would like to do a no arcana.
Sure.
I assume this is that would be a total of 15.
15.
To know what is the proper placement of these power sources.
Gotcha. So, having like helped Nina decipher the instructions that tell how to use the device, you remember pretty vividly that there were 2 A's instead of 3 on the power source.
I think the way that they do it is the smaller amount of this number, the better it is. So it's weird, but they're humans. You can't really judge them. I think that you're supposed to put. I mean, I can't for sure. I'm not a human at all. No, but if you put these 2 in there this way, I think that's how you make it work.
Okay. But I'll just toss the ones that have the 3 A's. Just useless.
I mean,
get some more of those 2 A's because they're better.
How's your backpack, Nina? Do we need to find other bags laying around the temple?
Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure the temple usually has like many shrines to bags because humans really like bags.
I wonder, does this shrine happen to have a circuit site?
Who knows? You haven't seen one.
Oh, do you think this temple has the salty bread that is in a weird shape, or the bread that smells like sugar?
Will it
And
still be around?
oh, I don't know.
So are you all following Eris out down the stairs as you're having
I
this
would-
conversation?
I would hope
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
Okay.
All right.
All right. So as you head down, it's definitely darker. Kayla has her torch out. Satarini, are you using your lantern? All right. So it definitely gets a little more oppressive as you head down. The air down here is very stale, and Nina, that feeling just keeps getting worse the further you head into this temple. Like your hackles just come up, and at this point, all of you just feel like almost icky. Like the oppressiveness is just like almost an oily feeling on you.
Well, it's no wonder they're not here anymore. Why would they live in these things underground?
Everyone, make me a wisdom check.
You're trying to kill me, aren't you?
11.
Okay.
19.
Okay.
What?
14?
And Kayla.
We'll just say it's worse than everybody else.
Okay. So, Eris, you've seen some weird things in your time, in your travels.
Yeah.
And so you're just a little bit, and you're a cat. So you're just a little bit more aware as far as like otherworldly things. And as you're walking along, you notice something. It's a feeling at first, and you turn and you look over, and you're pretty sure there's a cat over there. And it's just faintly glowing.
Am I able to know anything about like what type of cat it is from this distance?
You're pretty
am
sure
I-
it's a tabby.
Okay.
Like it
I-
looks like a tabby, shaped like a tabby, but
And
it
I- and
doesn't
I was-
smell like a tabby whatsoever.
Oh.
In fact, you don't
I-
smell animal at all.
What do I smell anything?
You smell dust. There's a
Hmm.
faint, kind of weird, plasticky smell.
Interesting.
But nothing smells natural down here.
And I whisper, there's a strange cat. There's a strange cat. I can't smell it. I can, and I point it out.
It's gone.
What?
Hmm.
Oh.
Like everyone but Kayla, you turn in time to see it, and then it's just gone. Like it might have run into that doorway over there, but how it got through the door, you're not sure. It's definitely gone though.
Still,
Do-
stop.
Shine my lantern over that way and see if there's an opening or something it might have gone in.
You don't see anything.
Smell magic.
That
Maybe we're just seeing things.
that weird smell is much stronger down here. It's very disturbing. It kind
there
of
any kind-
lingers. What's that?
Concentration was where the cat was.
There's definitely like a bit where it was seen, yes, but it just kind of seems to linger everywhere. But you don't see any human yet.
Do you think that? So I heard once upon a time that certain humans, more powerful human magic users, kept cats as pets. Which, well, do you think that belonged to the human? Do you think we should chase the cat and try and find it?
I thought the cats kept the humans as pets.
I mean, I've heard it both ways.
Is it really dusty or anything down here? Do we see like maybe there's some
It is
marks?
dusty. It's probably not as dusty as you would expect it to be for being so old. It probably got sealed somehow. But I mean, it is underground, so there wouldn't be a lot of airflow to bring in dust and such. But looking over there, you don't see any tracks where the cat was.
Hmm.
So
Do I smell the kids?
Sorry, Nina, what was that?
Do I smell the kids?
You do smell the kids. Yeah, there's this like vague scent left behind them. You can totally tell that the boxer was over rubbing on those chairs over there. And it looks like some of the chairs have been knocked over. You can see their prints kind of like running around and everything, and they're running between doors. But yeah, the cat left no prints. You also don't see any other footprints, like there aren't any human footprints.
We should follow the kids' scent. At least
Agreed.
track where they went. And maybe the answer is there? Maybe the human can tell us about the cat.
Makes sense to me. We should do that. Keep going.
Okay. So between the tracks in the dust and like smelling, you can follow without needing to like actually follow their winding as they played around on everything. And you see like lots of different doorways with different signs above them. There's one that says there's a K and a B. It's very obvious, and then you're pretty sure that last word was like toys or tois or something. You're not really sure how that last word was spelled. It's a little disconcerting looking in the window because there are like these strange beasts that are furry, but they're all molded now and they're kind of falling apart, and there's like this white stuff that's coming out of them. It's almost like you've seen bodies that have like fungus erupting from them. It's kind of like that. You don't smell it though. It's really weird.
We
Why
shouldn't
would
go
the
in.
humans? Why would the humans do that to things?
And these beasts are really weird too. They're like kind of monstrous looking, and they're like bright purple and they're bright yellow and stuff. And it's you've never seen anything natural like that. They must have done really horrible things to get them to be that color, or maybe these were like natural back then. You're not really sure.
I think this is an evil temple.
They could have been some mages' experiments.
Or maybe sacrifices. Like if we haven't seen any of these creatures since then, obviously they sacrificed all of them, so they're no longer around.
Put them
Definitely
on
an evil temple.
I'm sorry, Nina, what was that?
They put them on display.
For protection?
Oh.
As a warning?
Maybe.
Well, don't go in that one, I guess.
Think back to all the times I stole meat sticks. Yeah, definitely not going into that.
Do you continue on?
Yeah.
All right, so continuing on, you get to the point where your light now shows the end of this temple, and there's a very large portcullis there, and above the portcullis it says JCP Penny, something like that. And there is a human standing outside the center of the portcullis. He's just standing there. What was that?
Like a human?
Yeah, I mean, there's a human standing right there, staring at you.
Is it moving?
Just standing there.
Does it smell?
You don't smell anything different so far. You notice that it's wearing bright red clothes that have kind of like moldered a little. They have like some white fluffy edging to it. There's actually like what looks like a fool's hat or something laying on the ground next to it.
Can I try and make a light puff of gust of wind to try and see if it reacts to it
Sure.
with prestidigitation?
Vegetation? Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
there we go.
So
Yeah.
like a little puff of air happens, and you see like dust float off of it, and it begins to move. Ho ho ho! Did you bring us something for the kids? And there's like a jingling noise as it moves its arm.
And my hair puffs up, and I hiss a little bit, and I scurry behind everybody else, and I say, "It's alive. It's a human. Oh no."
I step up to in between everyone. What is it you want, human?
Do you have a donation? Ding, ling, 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 ling.
Did we get any of that paper stuff?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
I mean, you have like sacks of donations from all the people in Pugmire.
No.
You have non-food as well.
I think we should send somebody who wants to go put stuff in his bucket.
I'll approach it.
The bucket is much smaller than like all of the stuff that you have, but you could definitely fit like the knickknacks and some of like the little shiny metal discs and stuff that they gave you. You could put some of that stuff into the bucket.
Okay. Kind of want to take the bucket. All right, I'll approach it with a handful of donation thingies.
Okay.
In my battle axe in the other hand, raised. Cautiously approaching it, looking for any sign of its attack.
You know, it sits there and it rings this bell, and it doesn't really look at you. It looks like it's looking at the others behind you.
All right. I'll drop that stuff on top of the bucket. Is it like I got an open lid? What's the bucket?
Yeah, so it is open, and as you drop it in, you notice that like these red lights appear in like this pattern across it, and it says, "Thank you for your donation." Ding, ling, 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 ling.
Okay.
And then the
I won't
red
say I
lights disappear.
scurried, but I moved back to the group quickly.
As bravely as possible, right?
That's right.
Do you think? Go ahead. Do you think that that's the creature that they were sacrificing those animals to? Do you think the gifts are supposed to appease it in some way, and they just did it wrong?
It does feel wrong.
Kayla, as you got nearer, it doesn't smell like anything different. There's just a little bit of almost like warmth that you could smell off it. It wasn't even like a feeling. It was just like a vague sense of like it has energy running through it, but it didn't smell like something alive.
I'm trying to sneak around behind it.
Do we understand the language that those humans have used? Like the box, the TV thing, and
I'm gonna go with yes. Like the spoken
Okay.
language, I feel like you would understand.
okay.
It may be a little archaic, but
Right. Well, it seemed to thank me for the donation. Do you think it's been appeased, regardless of what its function is?
I hope so. I mean,
So
we don't have.
Because all of our gifts are not going to fit in that bucket, and it seems like it wants it in its bucket.
Well, I mean, if he's already said thank you, then we just keep the rest of it.
Yeah, I mean, I have some ideas for what we have left.
so as the three of you are talking, Saturini's kind of like edging around, trying to get around it. It doesn't look at you, Saturini. What do you do?
I want to kind of sneak up around behind it and sort of cautiously approach from behind this thing and kind of sniff at it and investigate.
As you're like getting closer and you begin to sniff, it stops ringing the bell. And just this like odd silence drops, and everyone like stops talking for a moment and like looks at it,
And it's
then-
sort of. And then I kind of reach out and
like tap it. Ho ho ho! Have
Then
you brought a
freak
donation?
just freak out.
Make a con save.
It wants more. It's insatiable.
I got 20.
Nice. You didn't realize how bad you had to pee until right now, and you managed to not piddle yourself as you're scared.
All right. I feel so proud.
Maybe if we present ourselves to the human in a traditional like presentation, they will want to play, and that's how we will connect with the human. So I'm going to go deep down into a play bow, and then look at the human, and then wag my stump, play bow, wag my stump, see it, does it want to throw a thing, maybe?
Yeah.
Does it want to play?
Okay, so some things are going to happen simultaneously. Satarini, I need you to make me a wisdom check at advantage.
Okay. 17.
Okay. While Nina is doing this like almost ritualistic play dance, getting closer to it, what are Eris and Kayla doing?
I would be further away than everybody else,
Okay.
Playing the aloof cat, trying to keep an eye out on our surroundings, just in case anything else comes by, that strange tabby that we saw earlier, or any other creatures that might pose a threat.
Go ahead and make just a straight, one die wisdom check. And while you're doing that, Kayla, what would you be doing?
I'm standing at the ready with my battle axe, in a non-aggressive stance.
In a passive-aggressive stance.
Like if this thing turns on Satarini, I'm hitting it.
Okay.
Can I use one of our fortune points?
Oh, is that all right with everybody?
Yeah.
Okay.
This looks like a big bag evil guy to me. Let's do it.
How that? Okay. Can I use another one? It's the same.
What was your total?
Total is 10.
10. Okay.
Decent.
Dang.
So
It was the same thing twice.
Oh,
so...
ouch.
That sucks. Yeah.
So as Nina's moving closer, Eris, you're having a hard time really paying attention to what's around you like you want to, but this is just so interesting to watch as Nina's doing this little butt wiggle and then moves closer, and Kayla's kind of standing there flexing, but trying to look like she's not trying to be aggressive, and then she kind of curls her teeth or curls her lip a little bit and a little growl eeps out. Satarini, you can see, because you're watching the other way, and you can see in the distance the sunlight is streaming down and is making everything glow up on the top of that landing in the temple. And for a moment there, you're just wow, I can really see how inspiring it would be to be in here during one of their services or something, and I can really understand the power of man and all of that. And then something moves behind Eris. And you realize part of that light you're seeing isn't from the sunlight. It's much closer to Eris. And I need everyone to roll initiative.
Oh no! Let's see here.
I am going to be the slowest cat. I have to be.
Eris, what did you get?
I mean, I didn't fail. I didn't get
Don't
a 1.
worry.
I didn't get a 1.
I haven't rolled yet, so don't worry. I doubt you go last.
2. Okay. Satarini, what'd you get?
13.
Okay. And Nina?
15.
And Kayla?
21.
Wow.
Yeah.
Which means I'm probably gonna die.
Didn't somebody say that I wasn't gonna go last?
Sure, you're right.
Right.
Well, the fates, I shouldn't have said it because the fates conspired against me yet again.
How dare you?
I know. I'm totally a bad dog.
So, Kayla, make a wisdom check.
See, here we go. This is where I die. I'm on big money, no whammies. Well, that's a thing. I got a 9.
Okay. Nina, make me a wisdom check.
Wisdom check. Is it sight, sound, or smell?
Save me.
Just do a straight check.
Okay. 12.
12. Over, you're not getting the response that you're really expecting. And really the only thing that you notice is Saturini stops, like, being right behind this human and, like, all of a sudden looks a little defensive. Is there anything that you would do about that? Or are you going to continue moving?
Defensive as in he's spooked, or defensive as in, like, there's
minutes.
damage? Like-
Saturini, if you saw something that you felt was a danger to your group, what would you do? Like instantly, what's your first, like, dog reaction? Oh, you're muted. You're muted. You're still muted.
I'd probably, like, sort of crouch down and sort of, like, snarl a little bit and sort of look that way intensely, and the fur on the back would go up.
Okay. So that's
sort of
what
getting that sort of aggressive stance.
That's what you see, Nina.
Very well. This is a bad dog. This is a bad dog. I will cast Elemental Bolt.
On Saturini?
No.
Oh.
No.
I'm just like...
On the human in red.
Gotcha. Okay.
Human in red's a bad dog. Bad dog.
Roll it.
Did something to Santorini. Santorini's nobility.
Right.
And, yeah, no, that's not good.
Do you choose which element?
I do. I'm going to go with fire.
Okay.
Does... no, I missed. That's a natural one.
Nice. So, worried about hitting Saturini because he's, like, kind of doing that, like, little terrier bounce that they do when they get very excited. You, like, just blast away, and it, like, goes through the portcullis and hits the glass on the other side, and there's, like, a, like, small explosion of fire and leaves a scorch mark on it. Saturini. A little yip, like a little light yipe, is like escapes your mouth as fire goes, like fire flies past you. But behind Eris, you see something moving, and it looks like a very large cat skull, maybe, that is glowing. And there's, like, wisps of energy coming off of it and, like, leading back into the darkness that is off behind it. So back the direction you came from.
Yeah. Okay.
What do you do?
I'll say, Nina, what are you doing? Over there. Over there.
Bad dog.
Go get it. Go get it.
I will whip around to look at where he's pointing.
Yeah, so now, like, everyone can see, now that Saturini has pointed it out, everyone, like, looks as not even an action or a response or anything. You see this glowing skull, and Eris, as you glance over your shoulder, it actually isn't just a cat skull. It's, like, part cat skull, part dog skull, and there's all of these, like, crawling things on it that remind you maybe that's a bird and maybe that's a rat, but they're all, like, glowing and they're semi-transparent, and they make up this shape that is this weird skull. What? Oh, no, it's not your turn.
Is it round?
But...
Does it in and go move when it stops on the right thing?
The cow goes... However, you are not surprised, so as it lunges at you, it will not have advantage. Sorry, I went to the wrong page. Does a 20 hit you?
Ooh. Yeah. Yeah, it does.
As this is Eris.
Oh,
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, it would. By like 9, it would hit me. Yeah.
Oof.
So as it lunges forward, you can see like a weird spectral body behind it, also made up of all of these little animals. And it lunges forward and it bites at you, and its jaws absolutely wrap around you, and then it pulls back. But you don't feel physically pulled by it, but more like something inside of you tears,
Oh.
and you see this like kind of glow leave your body as it's pulling its teeth out of you. You are going to lose, oh, ow, 3 wisdom points.
Oh,
Oh
Jesus.
God.
Oh,
Ow.
damn, that would probably kill me.
Oh, no.
That would probably kill me. What do you do?
I mean, other than scream and shriek out loud
Yeah.
as much as I can, I don't know. I'm suddenly less wise than I would be. So my immediate reaction would be to, I'm less cautious because I'm less wise. My immediate reaction would be to try and hit it
Okay.
with a what is it called? Uh, well, let's do an Eldritch Blast, eh?
Okay. So it is right next to you, so this will be a disadvantage.
Oh, well, I mean, that's not gonna get much worse than that first roll. So, I got a 1.
Oh,
So that's a total of a 2, I think.
excellent. Excellent.
So obvious that I hit, right?
Yeah, it totally
Okay.
hit. Like you fire off this eldritch bolt, and like whizzes off into the darkness, and its light, like it's kind of flickering violet light, illuminates the corridor for a moment, and then like disperses against the stairs in the background. Do you want to move at all, or do you
I
have
mean,
anything?
I mean, like, I would like to get away as quickly as possible, but I'm not sure if there's like a attack of opportunity or what have
There
you in
is,
this.
yeah. So
Yeah.
if as a player you would understand that if you run away, it will get an attack of opportunity on you. Um, but whether your character wants to deal
I
with that or
mean,
not,
obviously, like, I'm less wise, like I said, as is evidenced by a ranged attack in melee. So I am gonna try and run away.
okay,
I'm a bit of a scaredy cat, so I'm gonna move as far away as I possibly can.
okay,
My speed is 30,
okay.
so
So you can make it to essentially the human and the portcullis, like where
mhm.
Santorini is, unless you want to like diverge off to the side from
I would
one
like
of.
to. I would like to be away from Satarini because, if I
Okay.
recall correctly, he is not himself.
Okay. So you run off to the side. It is going to take a bite at you. Even better, or in your case, worse than the last roll. And so, oh man, not again. You're going to lose 3 more wisdom.
Oh, God.
Woot woot. Thank you so much, Demon Cat. I really appreciate you.
It's like, no problem. Kayla. Kayla,
All
what do
right.
you do? This thing has just appeared
That
behind
is
Eris, took a bite out of her, and
such a bad monster. I'm
yeah.
gonna bound up there and sink in everything I've got into this thing's head. Am I close enough to do that?
Oh yeah,
Run up there.
you can run up
Okay.
and do so. Yeah. Sorry, I was
Battle
waiting for your
axe.
roll.
Battle axe coming online. You didn't hear that roll, right? I got
Was it
an
amazing?
8.
An
Like, it was
8.
amazingly bad. I got an
So
8 total.
you swish at it, but like as you're getting closer to it, there's just like a little bit of innate fear, and your arm just kind of shakes a little bit, and it your swing goes wide. So anything else that you have as far as abilities that you can do, bonus actions, or
I don't think so. I
okay,
think I'm allowed to die now, so I yell at it. Stand back, you foul creation.
nice. Nina, make a an intelligence or a wisdom, whichever you prefer.
Intelligence or wisdom? I think my smarts are better than my wisdoms. 16 and a 2, so it'll be 18.
In your delving into the arts that you practice, you've definitely heard of things like this that are spirits of animals that were left behind, that maybe died in bad conditions for some reason. But you've never heard of one that was quite like this. This is almost like a conglomeration of them. It just fills you with this sense of dread in the pit of your stomach, almost like this is something that, like, from your readings, they're horrible to begin with, to have to deal with, but this might be beyond you. You're not really sure. So use that as you will.
Did the human react at all to the fire that
No.
I shot at? It's just saying the same thing and ringing a bell?
Yep.
Something's wrong with that human. Probably still a bad dog. I'm going to position myself between Eris, the red man, and the glowy skull thing, because Eris doesn't look super steady right now.
Yeah.
And I'm going to brandish my femur and point it at the thing and let off a series of bolts of force. Yes, magic missile.
Okay.
Cat taught me this one. Oh, let's see here. And then 3, 6, and 4 is 10. 10 points of force. Boop, boop, boop.
Okay. So as these bolts of light strike into it, it rears back and screeches, and it screeches weird because it almost sounds like a dog yiping while a cat hisses and a bird shrieks. It's very disconcerting, this roar, but you notice that like large puffs of it rip away as the bolts of force hit it.
I'll start barking. Rage barking. Corgi meets cauliflower level of like fuck you. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's my turn.
All right, Saturini.
I'm still kind of freaking out and wondering if this is like some weird combination of the spirits of those sacrificial creatures we saw ripped open earlier. And I will go ahead and shoot a bolt at it from my
Okay.
crossbow.
Okay.
And let's see here. Oh God. What is that? That is 13.
13 will miss it. So your bolt goes just wide of it. It was close.
Um,
And meanwhile, in front of you, ding-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling, Merry Christmas, ding-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling.
that stupid ringing is distracting me.
Yeah,
I can't
there
think
you go.
straight. And I'll run around a little to get a better vantage point to shoot
Okay.
at this thing.
All right, so that means it is going to look down at Kayla, who's in front of it, and it snarls and it like lunges for you.
It out.
Does does a 15 hit you?
Yes.
Yes. So same kind of thing. This it bites into you and you don't feel it. You're expecting like this piercing pain because it just like chomps down on your body, and then it pulls back and there's this ripping inside of you, and it just pulls out this glowing energy, and it seems to like swallow part of it. You're gonna take 2 wisdom.
Oof, it takes me down to 8.
Oh,
I'm -1 now. I'll have to look up if I go any lower what 7 and 6 are, because I don't know.
Eris, what do you do?
Okay, so I'm currently at 9 wisdom, which, if I recall correctly, is my spellcasting modifier
Oh,
for like
no.
attack rolls and what have you.
Gotcha.
So
So
this will be
just
fun.
yeah, so you're just gonna add 1 from here on out, unless you lose more. You'll just add 1 to your roll.
Yeah, because proficiency
Right.
bonus. Yeah. So as of right now, I'm absolutely terrified of this creature. I don't know what to do. I think I'm going to ensure that I am far enough away from it so that it can't reach me. So if necessary, I will move again. But then I am going to do a another Eldritch Blast. So that would be +1, you said? So that would
Correct.
be 13.
That also will miss. It just goes wide of it. Um, like as the Eldritch Blast heads towards it, it seems to just like duck out of the way, just slightly.
I think we need to run, y'all. I don't think we can beat this. I say, living up to my scaredy cat reputation.
Okay. All right, Kayla,
These
what do you do
rolls.
about it?
I'm gonna try to miss again. With my big old battle axe. And I'm starting to see the wisdom of Eris's pleas of tactically retreating.
Tactically retreat. Right. Not fleeing. Tactical retreat.
11.
11. You swing wide again as your axe just does nothing.
These damn dice are overrated.
Don't forget, we could use fortune points.
It's true. You got 2 left.
What does that do again?
You can re-roll it. Roll.
Okay. Yeah, any objections? We either need to run or do some damage.
Do it,
And I think Nina's the only one that's hit this sucker.
and I'll do it again.
All right. 15 on the reroll.
All right. So instead of going wide, your axe actually goes through it, but nothing seems to happen.
Yeah, let's run. And with that,
Are you going to move away from it? Or are you going to?
I will bound away.
Okay. It has. Yeah, it has gone. So it's going to take a bite at you as you run away. Does a 10 hit you?
No.
It thought you were going to stay there and be dessert, so it. Oh, he's running. Oh, I missed.
I mean, I am a
Okay.
sweet dog, but I am no one's dessert.
So Nina, you see Kayla and Eris as they're starting to head back the way that you guys came from. What do you do?
I mean, I'll cover for them as they run away.
Okay.
I will also pull back, a little bit, withdraw a little bit, keeping a side eye on the man in red. Don't know what's up with that human, but that's really weird.
Silly humans.
And then second verse, same as the first. Brandish my femur. Hit it again. Bam, 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 bam.
Okay. And really, who can understand the thinking of the human? Because they are the creator, so...
I mean, maybe he's going to throw that bell, and then we're supposed to chase it, but he's not thrown it yet. And he keeps on, acting like he's going to throw it, and it's so frustrating, because, why don't you just throw it? That's how we play this game.
He's
I have this
all
urge to attack the human.
dangling. He's all dangling, but no bite.
Right?
Yeah. Okay, so 4, 5, 3, 4, 9, and then 3 is 12.
12. Your
12 force.
bolts of light smash into it, it screeches again, and it does seem to damage it. Large portions of it disappear. And you notice, as it disappears, little spiritual, spirit-shaped or animal-shaped spirits kind of fall off of it as those areas dim and go out. And you're moving back, around it, back the way you came from. Okay.
Yeah. I'm keeping cover for the other two as they make a retreat.
Yeah.
Since I seem to be able to wield the human's power against this thing. Surely the man in red will be impressed and maybe finally throw the goddamn bell.
Okay.
That's my turn.
So Satarini, as you're getting ready to do whatever you're about to do, the man in red next to you or nearby you goes silent. He stops ringing that bell. What do you do?
I'll sort of look up at him and be like, "Why won't you help us? Stupid human. These guys were powerful."
And in your mind, you hear Winnie like at one of her sermons saying that man helps those who help themselves. So maybe you need to really prove yourself to this human before he'll do anything.
I will having seen the acts of my companion just go right through this thing and do nothing. I'm skeptical that my bolts will even do anything to it. So, not quite sure what else to do. I will pull a meat stick out of my sack and throw it at it. Maybe that will distract it and placate it, so it will at least distract it.
Okay.
So I'll chuck a meat stick at it.
Okay. And are you gonna stay where you are? Or are you gonna follow after the others who are tactically retreating?
I want to get this red human's attention so that he actually does something. So I'm gonna go ahead and get my claws out, and I'm gonna like start climbing up the human, making sure to like get a little bit of claw. Be like, yo, attention. Whoa.
Okay. Go ahead and make a dex check.
13.
Okay. So you like pull out the meat stick, you throw it at this weird spirit creature, it lands in front of it, and then you run over and you begin climbing up the human, and you're like, help us! And it's like ding-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling, ho ho ho, and then it like starts tipping, and you manage to push off as you're falling and like land not prone, as the human just bounces off the ground and like lays there, and it's like it's very disconcerting. Meanwhile, the spirit looks at the meat stick and kind of sniffs it, and then looks at Satarini and runs towards Satarini instead.
Great.
Does a
All right.
13 hit you?
Yeah, it does.
So as it bites into you, you feel something inside of you torn away. You're going to lose 2 wisdom points.
Oh.
So this is actually reducing my wisdom?
Yep. Eris.
Hey.
The creature has actually gotten further away from you as it chased after Satarini. What do you do?
Whereabouts would you say that they are? Like, how far away?
So you could either like move back to them now, or you could run and probably get almost to the stairs.
My major question is, are they within 120 feet of me?
Absolutely.
Okay. So, let's try this again, because it's definitely a good idea and has worked several times before. I'm going to use Google for dice.
I see you're all giving up on your shiny math rocks.
Oh yes, 100%, 100%. And just so we're aware, I am not cheating. It's a 20. I don't know if you
Yes!
First critical
Yeah.
of the game. All right.
So technically, a whole 21. That is 1d10.
Okay, so
Worst
roll
damage.
2d10 and add. Well, just roll 2d10 now.
Yeah. So that is 5.
5. So as your bolt slams into it, very like solidly. And you rolled 2d10? Just verifying. A huge chunk of it just rips out, and Santorini, as it like is pulling out, and you see it's like your own life force being pulled with it, a big chunk of the skull just disappears. Like it looks like little tiny mice spirits go flying and screeching by your ear, and they're like a parakeet, chirp chirp chirp, flies away and then disappears. And it kind of slumps down. It's still standing, but it's almost like whatever's holding it together is almost gone.
And I scream out, "Run! Run as fast as you can! Get away from the creature! I don't know if I can actually hurt it again." And then I run further away.
Okay, cool.
Using my
You definitely could reach the stairs on your next turn.
Yeah.
Kayla, what do you do?
I'm going to run with Eris and ensure protection.
I'm absolutely helping by protecting Eris. I love it. All right, Santorini.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and stab it because it's like right in front of me now, and I'm freaking out. I've got this giant red man that's flopping around on the floor, making awkward sounds.
Oh, yeah.
This thing like right in my face, so I'm gonna try and stab it.
In fact, it's almost make a wisdom saving throw.
Wisdom saving throw. That's a 20.
Okay. You almost have an issue with the fact that like this human is making noises worse than this creature is making, and that's saying something.
Yeah.
And so you kind of feel like a little bit of fear inside, but then you overcome it and you take a swing. What'd you get for your attack?
Can I use a fortune point? You guys cool with that?
Yep, do it.
It's better. It's not great. I got 11.
11. It just goes wide. Like, even though you're not afraid of it, you bolstered yourself against your fear. You just held back at the last moment. Do you stay where you are?
Oh man. I feel like I'm gonna clamber around behind the red flopping human, and maybe it will freak out seeing that and leave me alone.
To be fair,
No. To be fair.
I'm pretty sure it took its reaction already, so you could run away without it attacking you.
Okay.
If you want to.
Yeah. It's kind of what I was gonna do, right?
It sounded like you were.
I'm gonna like get on the other side of the red human flopping on the ground, and maybe it will freak it out and it'll attack that instead.
Gotcha. So you're still gonna stay in the area, though. You're not gonna like book it after the others.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like it's not doing so great, right?
It does look that
So
way.
we're like, come on, guys, we've almost finished it off. We got this.
So as you're yelling that after them, it steps over the flopping. It's like it doesn't even register that it's there, this flopping human, and it's gonna take a bite at you. But a 7 probably misses you.
It does.
Eris.
Oh gosh. So Santorini is obviously in some danger, and while I'm not like terribly concerned about them, obviously I have to play it cool. I'm a cat. I don't want them to die, because they are my friend. So I'm going to try to do something. I'm going to use an actual spell rather than a cantrip. Actually, no, never mind. Yeah, it's just a cantrip still. I'm gonna use Chill Touch, which is same distance,
Yeah.
120 feet. Oh God. I swear, I can actually show it to you if you don't believe me, but it is another 20.
Yay!
Yeah.
So yeah, it's promise, y'all. I promise. So that's 1d8.
2d8 because you rolled an extra 20.
Oh yeah. So that's a 7 and a 2. So that's a 9.
9. So as your paw, your skeletal paw appears over it and grabs it, the creature shrieks and it the shriek breaks into this chorus of many creatures shrieking, more than what you could hear before, as it just kind of disperses into many little spirits that disappear. However, you do notice that there are some that are kind of hanging around on either side of the temple, almost like they were heading to join into it, and now they are just kind of lingering. These little animal spirits, unsure of what to do.
I don't think I don't know if it's going to reform. We should probably get out of here as fast as we can. If you see those other ones at the periphery, we might still be in danger.
You killed Dr. Robotnik.
I'm sorry, what?
Every time you
Okay.
kill him, the little bunnies and birds and stuff fly out everywhere.
It took me a minute, but yeah.
Right. Oh goodness.
Normally you jump on top of them. I am a cat, so I could have pounced, but not my thing.
I'll kind of poke at it. Is it still there, or is it completely just broken?
Completely dispersed. The only thing that's still there is the human that's laying on the ground going and the bell that's starting to dent as it hits the floor with it.
Something's clearly wrong with this guy. I'll kind of poke at him. Is that real? Is that actually a human? That seems weird.
It's very hard when you poke at it.
Oh. Interesting.
Oh, that is weird.
I've investigated further and see if there's does it seem like it's real or maybe it's fake?
How would you investigate it?
Well, I've already kind of poked at it.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll start. I guess I don't want to say I'm disrobing the guy, but kind of I don't know. I'll go up to where his face is and just kind of not slap him, but kind of pat at him a bit.
Yeah.
Hey, what are you doing?
So there's a beard on his face, and you notice that the beard is coming out of little holes in its skin, and you realize that skin is very unnatural looking. It's either very unhealthy, this creature or this human, or it's covered in plastic or something, and its eyes are very glassy looking, and they you can see a seam at the top where its eyelid moves up into, rather than like an eyelid where there is no seam. So that's pretty obvious as you first shine your light onto it. I mean, you could get further into disrobing it if you'd like, or
I think, guys, I think it's just a statue or something. I don't know if it's actually a live human. It looks plastic.
That's impossible.
No, that can't be. It was moving.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still moving. But he's not acting intelligently at all. He's just flopping around on the ground, denting his bell into the floor. Who does that?
Humans.
Yeah.
He looks plastic.
Eris and Kayla, go ahead and make me wisdom saving throws.
Do we get our wisdom back?
No, not yet.
Let's see here.
12.
12?
With 9 is -1, right?
Right.
Okay, 12.
14.
Okay. So both of you feel this kind of oppressiveness on you, and you see these other spirits kind of lingering at the edge, and it's almost like that oppressiveness is radiating off of them. Eris, it almost feels like guilt. You felt that one time, but then it went away and you were not worried about it whatsoever.
Yeah,
After you
yeah.
swiped that pot off of your mom's, table, and it smashed on the floor, and you were just like, that's what you get for putting things on the table. You
I
know,
mean, yeah. After she brought out the spray bottle, I didn't think about it again.
That's funny.
but yeah, you managed to like kind of shrug it off. Do you want to keep heading out, or are you waiting for Satarini? What's your
I think that separating from the group would be a poor decision overall. But I'm not very wise again, so I'm gonna start creeping back towards the entrance.
okay?
Just using half my speed though.
And Kayla?
Yeah, I think I will continue to provide backup to Eris. And
I love it when running away can be
You're
I'm
strategically.
retreat. That's right. It's a.
you're only
covering the
following
retreat.
me. You're only following me because I have the meat sticks.
Right.
To
Yeah,
be
that could
honest.
be, but
The truth revealed.
nonetheless, I'm protecting the important assets.
Of course. It's an escort mission at this point. Yeah.
That's right.
All right. So Nina, are you hanging out and waiting for Satarini, or are you also making a run for it?
Well, the big scary thing's been dispersed. The human's been clearly like negatively affected by these spirits. I mean, just look at it. So really, we need to finish dealing with the spirit. Do they speak common?
Did you want to try talking to it?
Yeah. Hey, you get over here.
Some of them look at you, but none of them obey.
Okay, look. You're gonna leave, or I'm gonna blast you out of the sky. With this, I'm gonna hold up my femur. We're tough dogs.
Okay. Satarini, what are you doing while this is going on?
I'm convinced this thing is just a statue or something now, some sort of mechanical human representation of some kind. I will I'll look around it and see if there's any way to like turn it off or get it to stop.
I mean, you don't see anything around it that seems to be affecting it.
Interesting. I'll jump on it. I'll just jump on it.
Okay.
And I'll just start like jumping on it. I'll be like, human, what are you doing? What are you doing?
It's like that video of the husky. Have you seen the one trying to get the person out of bed?
Oh, that's awesome.
I mean, if it were a little earlier in the morning, I'd start yowling. But
right.
eating time. Come on.
So, Satarini, you do that. It kind of like messes up the way that it's ho-ho-hoing. It makes it like a little bit worse. And you notice one of the eyes all of a sudden goes and just gets stuck, but the other one blinks every so often.
Interesting.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm just not afraid of it anymore. It's like it's not real.
Okay.
This is not real. Yeah. Maybe it was a trap. Maybe it was to lure us here, but it's not real.
So Kayla and Eris, as you get closer to the stairwell that leads up to how you can get out, you notice that there are more of those spirits kind of like lingering over there on that wall. And it almost like you can see a faint glow heading off into that other side. So it would be the opposite edge of this like raised area, because you know that the temple went both ways. So the other side that's in the darkness, it looks like they're coming from over there.
So, what do you think we should? Do you think that we're safe? Do you think that we should keep running, or what do you think, Kayla? I know that you're protecting me, but I value your opinion.
And Kayla, as she asked that, a goldfish swims by, like a spectral goldfish, and you've never seen a fish give you the stink eye before, but you're pretty sure that goldfish is glaring at you, and then it like does a, and then swims away.
This is a very evil place. I feel like we should go back to the surface.
I agree, but the others, they seem to be,
Stupid.
well, I wasn't gonna say that, but I'm glad you did, because I can agree with you at least. So I call down to everybody else. I call down to Nina and Satarini. Like, are y'all coming, or are we gonna get out of here? Or are we gonna keep examining this dead plastic human?
What, we're gonna leave all the stuff behind?
He has a point.
Don't you know what's
Yeah.
here? Like an untouched human temple and weird spirits that we can deal with. It's fine. It's fine.
I've literally lost a part of me though.
I've lost several parts of me, and did you see the sacrifices? This is obviously a very evil temple. We can't stay here. We're just asking to become one of these spirits that are floating around. Do you see that goldfish? It's obviously out to get us.
Why not just follow the fish?
I mean, I haven't had fish in a while.
It wouldn't hurt to find out like where they're coming from, and maybe if we find out where they're coming from, then the man in red will like be better because he looks pretty bad.
Maybe we should take the bucket for safekeeping. I look between the meat sticks. And I look
Yes.
at the treasure. I look at the meat sticks. I look at the treasure. Let's follow the fish.
Yeah, I think I can. I'll stick with you. Safety in numbers, and maybe
Yes, we all should go
sushi.
together for sure.
Maybe
Yeah,
some
we
sushi
will.
later down the line.
You know, maybe they need a thing. Like I don't know. Maybe they want to play fetch. I don't know what fish like to do. Fish play fetch, right?
I don't know.
You've never seen a fish play fetch, but
Maybe.
who knows the mind of fish?
So, are you grabbing the bucket, Nina?
Oh, did I already grab the bucket? Yes.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I was busy saving my life, so I didn't quite
Right.
see everything.
All right, so bucket in hand. Satarini, are you doing anything else with the?
I'm gonna take the bell, see if I can rip the bell out of his hand, because I mean that ring is just gonna be annoying if it keeps on.
Yeah, make a strength check.
I'm so strong. Yeah, that's just an 8.
It's
I can-
really
I
got a
can
grip
help.
on it. It's almost
I'll
like it's
help.
attached or something.
Forget it. Let's go.
Okay. I have a battle axe.
So about the
Chop it
time
off.
that you get like Satarini and Nina, about the time you catch up with them, the man in red falls silent. He stops talking. And as you follow this line of spirits that have kind of lost their way, they're kind of like meandering around. Every so often you see a couple coalesce together and maybe like look like a little floating skull. And then it like floats over there and joins with another little floating skull and
Firebolt.
becomes a larger skull.
Cold bolts.
Excuse me. You come to
Wow.
the front of another space that goes back into the wall of the temple. There's another portcullis in front of it, and there's a glass door, like a single glass door, and there are large glass windows on either side that have bones of animals strewn about inside of them. And you can see little spirits inside floating up and heading out. They pass through the glass and coalesce together.
Place is so evil. We shouldn't be here, but and I just go silent and follow the group wherever they want to go, wherever they want to lead me.
Are they in cages?
What?
Bones?
What's that?
Are the bones in cages?
It looks like they're in a small room or something that the glass is showing you. Almost like they're on display for people walking by the outside of this.
Take out my
temple
mace.
room. Okay.
And I smashed into the window.
Okay. Glass shatters and falls down.
I mean, I hold up my bone. I mean, do the bones do anything? Do the spirits do anything?
No, not
Do
really.
do I happen to know any sort of like burial practices or something that might potentially, like, do I have to salt and burn the bones? Like,
Right. Why don't you do a intelligence check?
okay, that is plus 4, 22.
22. You definitely have some rites that you do in Mao that you could try here.
I mean, if everybody's okay with that, maybe we can try and put these spirits to rest. And I would attempt to do some of the ritual. I would like gather up the bones, assuming, of course, it wouldn't take like hours to do so.
Yeah. You do notice, so in the room that is exposed from the broken window, there's only like probably 3, maybe 4. It looks like part of one was like eaten, so there's like, teeth marks on one of the like one of the sets of bones, and you can gather them up pretty quickly. But you do notice that there is like a small hole in the wall. It looks like it's covered in metal on the other side. You're not really sure how it opens, but you definitely get the idea that there's more inside than what you're seeing.
And I pointed out to the others, I'm like, do we want to continue down this path? Do we want to explore?
Yes.
Okay. Go ahead. I'm back here.
Do we want to do this? Great, go ahead.
Yeah.
All right. I'll pop in there. Check out this hole. Is it like a cage? Is it like
no, it's like a inset. It's like a recessed area, and then there's just a plate of metal in the hole.
Interesting.
Elemental bolt against the plate?
Sure.
I'll go with cold. 15.
So
Plus,
the cold bolt
whatever.
hits it, and a bit of frost, like a puff of like kind of frosty smoke, lingers in the air, and there's some frost on the metal, but it doesn't do anything.
Hit it with my mace.
Sure. Do a strength check instead of rolling.
Strength. 12 plus. I'm sure I'm really strong. 12.
12. So you like take your mace and like you can't swing, but you can more like hit it, and it definitely like dents in, and you hear like something rattle on the other side, and you can see darkness in a crack. It's almost like this was some kind of plate or something, like some kind of door that you couldn't get to the other to the opening mechanism, but looks like you could probably hit it again and smash it. Yeah, so you like take a little time and smash it off, and there's a dark rectangle there now. It's a little hard for you to fit through, but not too difficult.
It's because I'm too wide. Is it because I'm too wide?
Yeah, especially in the hips.
Corgi bodies. Hey, yeah, cats can slink into these kind of things, right?
I mean, so long as I can get my head in there, I should be all right.
Right.
But I reluctantly stick my head inside.
Okay.
And try to peer around, see if there's anything of note.
So as you peer in, the light from Saturini's lantern is kind of streaming through in like broken beams, and your eyes take a moment to adjust, and it's like kind of like a horror show, or like you've been to circuses before where there have been like oddities and such, and it reminds you of that, but so much worse. There's just like bones on display like all over, just like shelves of cages and of these like little plastic containers and all of these things that have you're pretty sure that's a dog, like that's the remains of a dog, and those are mice up there. um yeah.
And I describe everything to the group, but I carefully avoid the fact that there is a stuffed or like the bones of a dog. I don't want to make people too upset or scared of this environment. And I'm gonna since I know the burial practice is something that might be able to put them to rest, and just to investigate a little bit further, Eris is gonna step inside. I'm gonna try and squeeze my way through and find out. Firstly, collect the bones. Secondly, find out any additional clues that might be around there.
Okay. So Eris goes in. Is anyone following Eris?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, can I hide the dogs real quick?
You realize there are too many dogs to hide before they get in, as like Nina's poking her head through as you're like trying to move the first like little crate full of bones. So Nina like pulls herself through. Eris, are you still like trying to move it, or are you just gonna like put it back?
I mean, yes, I will be I will be trying to hide it from them before I glance around and notice, oh, there's so many that I can't actually do anything.
When you've got this big, voluminous robe on, and it has like almost a cape type thing, so you just kind of like.
Oh yes, yeah, I rest nonchalantly against the cage. Nothing to see here. Nothing at all.
So Nina, as you get in, Eris is standing there, like leaning against one of the walls, but on the other side, you just see like all of these little cages, just shelves of little cages that are, each one has like at least one set of bones. There's rats, there's mice, there's snakes. Yeah. What do you do?
Well, I mean, I do like bone magic. This arcane focus has been pretty awesome. Brandish my bone. Show these spirits that I'm not afraid. Start opening up the doors of the cages.
Okay. Satarini, you said you were following as well?
Yep.
Okay. So the light in this room becomes much more helpful as the shadows like flee from the lantern. Yes, I hear you. I'm bored. Pay attention to me. Satarini, you see the same thing. Eris is like leaning against the wall. Down at the far end, there's a door, like a normal shaped door. Seems to be made out of metal and has a handle.
Does anybody know how to, I felt like I was supposed to teach one of you how to operate doors earlier. Yeah, okay. Nina, let's practice this very carefully. You stand in front of me, and I will direct you how to open a door. I say, and then taking like 10 steps backwards while I direct you.
All right. I will follow the instructions.
Okay. It's actually much easier than you thought, and this door is not locked, so it opens.
Wow, some of them have been so hard to do, but like it really is just a matter of like pushing down on the thing and then pulling, and then it opens. That's amazing.
And sometimes you have to push.
Yeah, this one's
really
actually push, which probably made it easier.
Well, wait, how would you know know, like, if you need to pull or push. Like, what kind of human trickery is this?
I don't know. I feel like it's just like an intuitive thing that they somehow know.
You think they
I
knew?
would get confused all the time, though.
Huh. I wonder if it means something if it goes inwards or outwards. Do
I
you
don't
think there's
know.
significance to that?
I would imagine that I cannot make guesses at the minds of the creators. Obviously, they are so far beyond us that
They are. They are.
So, Kayla, what are you doing?
I'm kind of just standing in awe, looking around and pondering what Nita's saying. There has to be meaning.
What's
Did you crawl through the hole? Are you in the room with
Yes.
them? Okay.
Yes.
what's on the other side of the door? It's over there. What is it?
Do you go
What is
through?
it, boy?
But what is it? Oh, on the other side of the door.
Are you gonna go through? Like, are you gonna open it and go
Yeah.
through? Okay.
Yeah.
So as you step through, you see just like a large room that has a couple aisles of shelves. The shelves look like they're made out of metal, and as you walk around the wall, it looks like the room you just came from. The cages on the side that would have been on your left are visible from the other side. There's like windows that look into them, and you see like all sorts of bones and everything in there. But then there's like all sorts of stuff on the shelves. There's like little plastic plants and like little jars of things. There's like a weird shaped shovel where it's like a stick, but the shovel doesn't go in the same direction as the stick. It goes, perpendicular to the stick. And then it has a little rake with it. You're not really sure what that is for. And then on the other side of the room, you see some more cages and some more large glass rooms. Or they're not really large glass rooms. They're small glass rooms, but they'd be large for a cage. They have like branches inside, and inside, like hanging off them are like bones of birds, and there's like bones of birds on the ground. You also notice some large wall sections that have tanks or like glass cubes in them with like little rocks. You're really not sure what that is. Libby, stop.
let her play. She wants to be a part of the game. Come
I
on.
know, right? She has to be on camera then, which I'm absolutely okay with doing. Come here. So what do y'all
Would that
do?
make the spirits happy if we took them out of here?
Yeah, I was curious. What was the gist of the ritual or whatever for like burial rites that I was familiar with?
It kind of depends on you get the feeling that with animals like this that were, caged away and died this way, they're not really at rest. They didn't go back to nature. There's not like any kind of cycle of life going on here. And so it is possible that their energies have lingered, and that's what you think these spirits are. So taking them out might and taking them back out, maybe burying them, or at least doing something with their bones as opposed to letting them linger here in the darkness.
And I relay that to everybody. I'm like, I think, and I can't guarantee it, but if we want to cleanse the spirits of this place, put them to rest properly, we need to bury them. Make sure that they have like a proper space to exist in. Hopefully that'll make this place safer for exploration in the future. Maybe we'll be able to get some more of that fancy Radio Shack technology.
I will say that the other thing that you've heard helps in situations like this. Cleansing by fire is never a bad thing.
I can do that.
Nina, do you want to take the lead on this one?
Fireball, 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 fireball. Fireball, fireballs.
So soon, and it's very dry in here, so soon like the things on the shelves burst into flames, and there's this like gross acrid smell. It's not quite like that stuff that's on your power sources, but it burns your nose. It's very off-putting. But the room is very quickly engulfed in flames. I'm assuming you don't stand in it. Like you're going to do this and everyone's going to head out?
I don't know. I'm not very wise at the moment. I'd probably head out before all this happened. Yeah.
So as you were heading out, you noticed that a lot of the spirits that were kind of like merging together and seemed a little like annoyed. They were giving you stink eyes earlier. They start like kind of like they're separating again, and they settle and they just kind of like all sit down and watch the fire, and then they just like one by one start to like blink out, and soon that like ominous sense, Nina, that you've had the entire time just fades away. Like that presence is gone now.
We will have to do a perimeter check, but later. First, let's watch it burn. Bark, bark, bark.
Bark, 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 bark.
Bark, bark,
They-
bark, 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 bark.
All right, so the four of you do a little more exploring and find some more neat, shiny things to take back with you. You return to Pugmire with an amazing story to tell. The children are quite satisfied that the human is not going to come and be angry about their behavior and not having donations for it. Do you tell them that it wasn't a human?
Do we bring it back with us?
Do you bring it back with you?
Well, I mean, it is very sick.
We need to take care of it. Obviously, we need to make sure they're all right.
Yeah.
And I hear that the church would be able to take care of them. Might be
Yeah.
good to give it to them.
Winning. You know, like, I don't know about you, but like keeping winning on your good side is always a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
It would be a fantastic relic to bring back to Winnie.
Yeah. So you bring the human back to Winnie, and she is just beside herself. And they take the human to the chapel or to the church, and they try and nurse it back to health. You hear that days later the human was getting ill, and then after a while it just stopped moving, refused to talk, closed its eyes for the final time. So they ended up burning the human as well to make sure that its spirit went on to where it needed to go. It also left a pall of this acrid smoke over Pugmire for a few hours.
Well, I mean, we did right by it, right?
Libby agrees.
All this talk of bones. She must be hungry.
Right? It is getting to be that time. Well, you have successfully kept the human from being sad about no donations. You have laid to rest the spirits of many, many animals from the pet store. We won't name names just in case. Oh wait, I already used Radio Shack. The Pet City that was in the the temple. Good job, everybody.
Woo! Woo!
What do you think of Pugmire?
I like it.
Super.
I
I-
go buy it.
Yeah, same. I adored playing. It was an absolute
Yeah, that's
blast.
awesome.
Nice.
So many puns to make.
So many.
I feel like
Too many to make.
I feel like we could have made a few more.
It's true.
Our pun per minute ratio was a little off in the latter half. but,
it started off real strong and then just
Mhm.
didn't quite make it all the way through.
Well, I mean, like the content, the subject matter. Puns are not always appropriate.
That's fair.
Apparently,
That's fair. I've gotten myself in trouble with puns, so I agree.
I mean, I almost walked off. So yeah, definitely.
Well, thank you all. I guess the only other thing I was going to throw out there is, Morgan, are you a 5e player, D&D?
I am.
Okay.
I've been known to play.
So everyone's familiar with 5e, so it made Pugmire just that much simpler to jump into. It wasn't. It removes a lot from 5e, just streamlines some things, adds or rewords some things like tricks or abilities, really, or class abilities or species abilities. Saving throws are still saving throws. It's pretty easy to pick up if you're a 5e person already. So, and if not, it's super easy anyway. So I definitely recommend it. Head over to realmsofpugmire.com if you want to pick up your own copies. And you can also publish using the Pugmire IP over on DriveThruRPG and the Canis Minor program. So thanks for watching, everybody, in our first episode of We Get to Play. And we will see you in 2 weeks for We Get to Play Starfinder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching. Have a good day.
Bye.
Bye.
See you, everybody.
Bark, bark, bark.